So you mentioned your producer. What's going on there?
Well, so right now, I'm a writer
Yeah.
for the most part, and I'm only doing the artist side of things because I haven't found somebody who I truly believe performs the way I want it to be performed.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like somebody who could help me take my music to the next level is really what I need right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm just kind of in that like medium place where it's like, you don't really know your voice is.
Yeah.
You don't really know what direction you're going, but you got something.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And you want somebody that's going to help you cultivate that.
Yeah. So I just been trying to reach out and everybody, and now that I have my music kind of out there, I'm trying to reach out to different people and see, what they have to offer and what we could do together.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, so I picked up one of my buddies who he's done a little producing in his time, so we're gonna see how that works.
Is he local too?
No, his name's Joe Beal. He's from out in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, he did go to CR though.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is that where you guys met?
Yeah, we
cool.
played football my freshman year out there.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
So how long have you been doing this?
Well, I wrote a rap when I was about 3 or 4 years old. I've been writing rap since about 3 or 4 years old.
Whoa.
My mom will gladly make fun of me for that. I have a couple of famous raps. Yeah, and I've been rapping since a kid, but I really didn't take it seriously until about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm, 22, staring at a wall, wondering what the hell I'm going to do with my life.
Yep.
And then, I'm like, I've always loved music, man. Let's just chase it.
Let's see what we can do.
Let's chase it. You know what I mean? I love the 9-to-5 grind. I mean, taking care of your family is the most important thing, but I just feel like I'm just not, that's not what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys. I like taking risks. I like getting out there. I like meeting people. So I just a different lifestyle, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like a creative type, man. Sitting behind a desk all day and working on a computer is just, it's a buzzkill.
Oh, dude.
Like, you can't do it.
Yeah, dude. I used to work at Tesla, man. 12-hour shifts and
Holy shit.
yeah, dude. They was good money, but it was oh my gosh. Wake up in the morning and you don't want to do anything. It's like your body's so exhausted. You're just like mentally tired. I need a break.
Yeah.
So it's like I need my free time to be, you know what I mean, constructive, and
Yeah.
I need to have energy.
Yeah, it's hard to create on this side if you're working 12 hours. I mean, holy shit. What'd
Yeah.
you do for Tesla?
It was pretty simple. I was just like, because instead of engines, they have batteries.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much inspected the batteries before they went out, shipped out into the because I was in an assembly factory. We didn't technically put the cars together, but we built the guts.
Okay.
So yeah, we I was a final inspection. I checked to make sure the batteries didn't have any cracks or leaks in it, because that would not.
Yeah,
be
that
good
would
for your
not-
car.
yeah.
Blow up on you when you're in traffic.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
Yeah,
Bad
but
for business.
definitely. So yeah, no, I just checked them out. We gave them one last look through, and super boring. Just looked at something. I went like this for 12 hours straight, just looking up and down at batteries.
Jesus.
Yeah, but it was good money, so I can't complain.
And it's cool. You get to say, hey, I worked for Tesla for a little bit.
and I met Elon 3 times.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was. Met quote unquote. He walked by me, made eye contact. So
man.
yeah.
I count it. Come on.
Yeah, I count it. Yeah.
Where'd you do that at?
Reno, Nevada.
Okay.
Yeah, they have.
You live down there?
Yeah, my mom and everybody is where they're from.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it pretty much it's a factory in the middle of the desert, and it's about it's called a gigafactory because it's, imagine the Bayshore Mall with 10 times the amount of floor space on the first floor.
Oh, wow.
With 3 floors stacked on top of each other. So that's kind of rough idea of how big this thing. Like, it's when it's done, they're not finished building it, but when it's done, it's going to be the biggest building in the world.
Holy crap.
Yeah, Elon is crazy. So if you ever get a chance, Gigafactory 1, Google it. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I've heard. So what is a gigafactory? Because I've heard that term thrown around a lot.
It's a factory that surpasses all other factories. I mean, it's a massive facility.
Yeah.
Like, there's floors of this where like you can't go in. You have a badge, and if your area
It's all locked down.
Yeah, if you can't get into this area with your badge, you're not allowed.
Whoa.
Don't be in there. So like,
Jesus.
there are a lot of rumors.
He's got it locked down there.
Dude, there's a lot of rumors about, you know what I mean, what's up on the secret 5th floor and what's under the sub basement. So I mean, personally, I mean, Elon came in a lot. And he spent a lot of time there, so there must be something there, you know what I mean?
I've heard that he's like an extremely, I mean, obviously, to run SpaceX and Tesla and the Boring Company, I mean, it's a grind.
He's a badass guy, man.
Jesus.
That is a bad man. And I would not.
Yeah, you don't want to be on his bad side.
No,
you don't want him tweeting you something.
No, dude, no. I would never. He's known to fire people on the spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No, I didn't know that.
he's known to fire people on the spot. If you stop your working, whatever you're doing, if you're doing something and you stop to go talk to him, he'll fire you on the spot.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yes, he's
I
like,
mean,
yeah. I mean, even if it's just a hi, like, he's like, man, he's no
oh,
BS.
damn.
So like, I enjoy his way of working because it's really to the point, but it's strict.
Yeah, you got to admire the work ethic.
Dude. Yeah.
I mean, working under him would probably be a little tense, but like from an outside perspective, you got to be like, holy shit.
Yeah, dude. I mean, outside looking in, you're like, this guy's badass.
Yeah. So working there, was that kind of your push to pursue music? Or did it always kind of been in the back of your head, but you're like, I got to do something?
That was the last 9-to-5 straw.
Okay.
So like, I've had a couple jobs where I'm like, man, maybe I'm gonna do this as my career. Maybe this is what I want to do. But when I did Tesla, the money asked because I had money because I had a really good job. So and that's where I looked at it and I'm like, man, this paycheck, I really enjoy this paycheck, but I don't want. I'd rather be in the struggle and do something I'd love, than do this Tesla stuff and be upset. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was about the pushing point that really pushed me towards music. You know. But other than that, man, I just love to make people smile. I mean, I'm an entertainer in general. I love to make my friends laugh. I love to just be a funny guy. That's like me altogether.
So what was the push to rap music?
Rap, I really love. Well, see, because at the end of the day, I want to make myself broad. I want to be able to do everything. Yeah. But I feel something with rap. You know what I mean? Like when somebody makes a dope bar or something, something that's relatable, it just kind of makes you smile. Like, I don't know. For me, it just has this thing inside me where it's like, just reminds me as a kid listening to like Eminem or something. So it's like, or being in the car with my stepdad and we're bumping, you know what I mean? Some jam from back in the thousands. And it just brings me back and to my safe place, I guess, you know.
It's all about that feeling, right?
Yeah, you know, and I figured out that's like life, you know, just chasing them feelings and the moments.
Yeah.
That's what pushes me.
That's what it's all about.
Yes, sir.
And you are pretty, I mean, I've only listened to the tracks that are out on like SoundCloud and stuff, but you've got like a little R&B flair in you too. And like you're versatile in that sense where it's not just rapping. You can sing a little bit and get it out there.
Yeah. I could sing a little bit. I mean, I don't like to try to, you know, I'm not no Mariah Carey.
Yeah,
anything,
come on.
I have a couple of notes I can hit when I want to. But I definitely have something crazy coming out like soon.
Oh, man.
Next week, we're going to switch it up. Playing with pitch correction a little bit because, you know, like I said, I'm not Mariah Carey here.
Yeah.
But, so I'm trying to figure all that out. But I do have something that's a little bit more for the ladies, a little bit more jam, R&B style coming out. Yeah, and it's about to be a week or so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
What's the process like to create a track? I'd imagine it's got to be intense.
Well, it's pretty simple for the beginning part because I could pretty much go on any beat. Like, there's like not very many beats I can't write on. So I pretty much just go through, you know what I mean? I have a list of beats, whether I use, you know, right now I'm still beginning. So, you know, either YouTube is still an option and there's this website called BeatStars and whatnot. So we go and choose a beat and then we kind of just flow to it, you know?
Yeah.
Feel the beat.
Play around a
little bit. Play with some words, some bars. Once you hear something you like, you kind of just jot it down and build from there. I mean, I feel like for some people it's a lot harder. For me, it becomes really natural, just the writing process itself. But I feel like the construction of the song is the hardest part. You know what I mean? Like the producing.
Yeah.
There's so much little small stuff that has to be messed with. All the timing, all the 30-second of every bar has to be lined up perfectly. So that's the hardest part for me, you know, just the producing.
Yeah.
But it's the process itself is really simple because it's all just like, boom, okay, that idea, fire off. Oh, here's another idea, fire off. You know what I mean? It's kind of like ping pong.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Just back and forth. But I don't know. It's a fun process though. It gets tricky at times depending on like what I said. This R&B stuff. There's a lot more technical with it because anybody can rhyme. You know what I mean? But to be able to make your pitches sound right and what note you're gonna hit next, it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
So it just
okay. So you like no, you're good. So you take a beat and then you're rolling off that. You're kind of feeling the flow and going where it takes you to a sense. Do you go in with an idea of like, oh man, I want to talk about this. Like I've been feeling this kind of way. Let me find a track that fits that.
Depends what mood I'm in.
Okay.
You know,
can you do me a favor? Just turn that a little bit more towards your
this
mouth.
way?
Yeah. No, if you just turn the mic. My bad.
Oh.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Okay. Yeah.
Does that work?
Good? Yeah, you can scoot it forward or back if you want to.
Oh,
it's
okay.
a little tricky.
I got you. I'll put it. Okay, here we go. But what was the question again?
Shit. No, right?
Humboldt County, baby.
Were you, when you like pick a beat, right? So do you pick a beat based on like some things you've got rolling around in your head? Like, man, I'm going to talk like this. I've got this, this has been kind of bothering me, so I want to vent about this.
Yeah, and that's a big piece of it. That's a big part of it. Cause I do like, sometimes I like to write when I feel emotion.
Okay.
So say, you know what I mean? I jump into girls' DMs and she doesn't message me back. That's going to put fuel to my fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, cause any emotion I feel, I'm going to write.
Mm-hmm.
I like to really, like you said, put my mood and how I feel into my music. So it's just a really emotional process. Cause I want people to feel what I'm saying. I don't want to just put out trash.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those guys who's just going to put out 30 songs and it's all mumble rap.
Which a lot of it is today.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
Surprised, you know what I mean?
The beat carries 90% of the song.
Yeah. And beats are really hard nowadays. Like they go hard.
Mm-hmm. You've got some really good beats, man.
Oh, I appreciate you.
Dude, the flute on what is it, Potion?
Oh yeah.
God damn, dude. And Pesos. Come on, man.
I like Pesos, man. That's my favorite one so far.
Yeah.
I think I personally like Balenciaga Face Mask though.
That one's good.
I like, because it speaks a little bit more. I was really feeling something about like just thinking about my friends' lives, because like I grew up semi-normal. I mean, my dad.
What?
I mean, my dad's a trap star.
Okay.
You know, my dad's been in and out of these streets for a long time. So like I was born into it. But he's stable, you know what I mean? Like, he's always loved me, always been there. But I have friends who don't have parents, you know what I mean, and stuff. So talking about how they feel sometimes, I have a lot of friends who don't have dads. Mm-hmm. So it's bittersweet, because, I get to cherish my dad, but at the same time, those are my friends. Yeah. And I know how that, I mean, I can't understand how that feels, but I can understand their pain sometimes. So it was really emotional for me to write that, because it was just talking about some of the struggles you go through, you know what I mean? And I really like that. So that's the kind of music I like to make. Yeah. It's easy to see that you put a lot of emotion into it. Like you can feel that listening back to the song. Yeah. And I mean, even like some of the songs I'm writing now, there's a lot of bars, like it just seemed like it's just a bar, but it means a lot to me. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about somebody specific, and I think that's like the biggest thing for music to me. You know what I mean? Is being able to express my story, express how I feel and how my friends feel, and my love for everybody. You know what I mean? That's it right there. Yeah. I'm going to set you up really quick just on the mic. Okay, my bad. I'm just going to tweak it just a little bit. I know, I keep bouncing around. I'm sure you feel the same way, but I've been tweaking with audio quality so much, and it's kind of a bitch to get it right. For sure. I know, I'm kind of bouncing around. No, you're good. You can move around. Feel free just to move that, and you can extend it like that, Okay. You just want to keep it like an... Do you want to be a little bit closer though, right? Yeah. Okay. Kind of like a fist away from your mouth. I'll stay right here, yeah. I have a natural tendency to bounce when I move. My first one, I was moving all around. Yeah. And it's so hard because you're editing everything because you're moving, and then your voice fades in and out, and you're like, oh shit. Yeah. Is it hard rapping here in Humboldt? Is there a pretty big rap scene here? That's a really good question, because we've never really had anybody blow up out of Humboldt County. Think of anybody. Like there's a few guys a while back who they had a song with like Bubba Sparks. Okay. I don't know if you remember Booty 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 Booty. Yeah, they had a song with him, but that's about the farthest. Any traction? I mean, it's about the biggest of anybody's ever gone out of here. So I mean, I would be really awesome to be the guy to blow up out of Humboldt. That'd be awesome. But there's some great people out here. I mean, you got City Hippie doing their thing, and I really like. They work with us with our videos and stuff, the Black Market Vikings videos, and that is really awesome. We'll get into that later. But, okay. Yeah, I have a lot of funny stuff about that. But the rap scene in Humboldt is just difficult because people don't take us seriously. Mm-hmm. They think, just like a lot of people coming from out of town, they think we're NorCal, we're a bunch of hippies. Yeah. We're just a bunch of hippies who smoke weed. Yeah. So I'm like, I get a lot of pushback from that, but they don't. Once they get here and they realize, like, man, these guys actually are kind of for real. Yeah. Then, you know what I mean? Maybe I'll get my respect some days. But for now, I definitely, people from the Bay Area and bigger cities kind of look down on us like little brother. You know what I mean? So yeah, especially where we're so small and trying to overcome the name of, oh yeah, it's just Weed County. Yeah. You know what I mean? Trying to break through that and be like, no, we got some talent. We have some creatives up here, but nobody wants to see that because that's where you go to buy your weed. Yeah, dude. And I mean, it's like, going to, when you went to go get your weed in high school from whoever you sold your weed, and then he's like, wait, bro, listen to my mixtape.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Slide your
like,
tape deck or something. You're like, bro.
It's like, come on, bro, just shut up, and give me my weed.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't need to listen to this right now.
Yeah,
Not the time.
yeah.
Not the time, man.
Yeah, I definitely, you know what I mean. I've been on both ends. But it's rough, dude. Like, you you go into with a business transaction and then you never know what's, people. Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna slide to your music, but without making it, weird.
Yeah. Are you getting a lot of pushback trying to break through that label?
Well, that's the thing is, I rep humble in my music for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not like one of those people who are gonna heavily just talk about all the weed and stuff like that. So like, I think with that and just throwing humbled in there a little bit, I'm not gonna have to bust through that wall as much because I don't want to be known as the weed rapper, which is 90. Which I wanted to say on that too. Most rappers in humble are known as weed rappers. I don't want to just talk about weed. I want to talk about everything. So I think that is the biggest mold, like push, because when I go to work with a lot of people out here, that's what they want to talk about. Yeah. So it's like I don't necessarily want to be a weed rapper.
Yeah, you don't want to be typecast and then fall into that box.
Yeah, like I mean, when you think about Wiz Khalifa, like you think he's gonna talk about weed.
Yeah,
that's just not what I want.
Which is sad because he's got some bars out there too. He's a pretty good singer also.
He is, and Wiz Khalifa is super talented. He's definitely look up to
Snoop Dogg's another one.
Oh my god,
you just think weed?
Yeah,
but that guy, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, when he
embraces that, he owns that.
When I think of Snoop Dogg though, I think of OG. I think of Pac. I think of, I mean, gangster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like gangster, dude. I mean, those guys, they grew up in a different era, man. I mean, it was for real back then. I mean, not to say it's not for real now because people are pretty gangster still, but I mean,
different generation.
Those guys were just so, oh my bad.
No,
those guys were just so like serious. Everything they did had a purpose. Everything was a calculated step to get where they wanted to go. Today, we kind of just throw it out there, see what happens, baby.
Yeah. Do you think that's because it's easier now? You could just
platform.
Yeah, you could take some shit and just put it out there. Exactly. It doesn't have to be good.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we like SoundCloud. You could just go and upload it on there. So, yeah, it's the weeding out the fakes nowadays is a lot harder. The filters are a lot bigger, so a lot of people slip through the cracks. And I think that one day we'll have another person like Pac to come in and really set the difference and set the boundaries between good and bad. Because I mean, there's a lot of music that it just, I'm not gonna say every music has to promote positive things, but I feel like all music should have value. If you bring in music, it should have some kind of value, some kind of weight to where like, okay, this is doing something for this, or this is talking about this. Yeah. Instead of just being all over the place. And I don't know, that's just my personal take.
Well, yeah, a lot of it's just almost mind numbing. Like it's just to kill time. Like you're not listening to their song to get anything out of it. It's just like I'm running. I don't really need anything. Let me just play this beat. Right? Which is kind of sad because it wasn't always that way.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's just changed over time. But I really think that music in a whole, like, I mean, I guess even if you are doing that, you know what I mean? Even if you are just like putting like mindless music out, I mean, as long as it's making you happy, I guess, then you're good, but
it's not enough for you.
It's not enough.
It's got to mean something.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm still a little tired too. Sorry, I'm spacey.
No, you're good.
Long trip. But yeah, no, I just feel like it should have some weight to it. You know what I mean? And that's why I record with emotion, because if I go in not wanting to record, I'm not going to get the best results. You know what I mean? Like,
carries over.
Yeah, it's big time mentality. Like last night we stopped at Bear River. I had that mentality. Oh, they're gonna whoop my ass, and guess what happened? They whooped my ass. Yeah, it took a couple hundred from me.
It's all part of the game. Man.
Yeah, it's all part. Mentality is the biggest thing. Like when I play football, I remember just it's 90% mental game, and I feel like that's with a lot of stuff. It's just all about how you go into how you're gonna attack. You can envision yourself winning. That's all for the taking, baby. Yeah. But if you picture yourself losing, you lost before you started. You know what I mean? So it's how you attack, how you approach.
Yeah, some people set themselves up to fail before they even try.
Yeah.
Which is it's hard to get over that.
Yeah, yeah. And it's crazy because I feel like in our culture too, like we plan for failure a lot.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not one to hate on a plan B, but my aunts and uncles and parents, you know, they're always like, go back to college right now so you can get your plan B. And I'm gonna go back to college eventually, but there is no plan B.
Yeah.
Because if I don't make it the first time, I'm coming back the second time. I don't make it the second time, I'm coming back a third time.
Yeah.
I don't make it the third time, you know what I mean? So on and so on. So it's like, I'm just gonna keep going until I make it because this is what I want to do. And ultimately, it's up to me to choose that.
Yeah.
I can have a million people saying no. It takes one yes. One yes. And that's all it takes.
That's almost the mindset you have to have if you want to succeed. Because if you've got a backup plan, you're never going to give it 100% because there's no safety net.
And I feel like people really get comfortable. You know what I mean? They get in a position where they're like, man, I don't mind this. You know what I mean? I'm getting good money. Go home, see my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm good, man. And there's a bit of subtlety in having a safe place where you could just, you know, go and relax, but at the same time, I like to be on edge. That's why I go out and travel and stuff, because I don't like to feel comfortable all the time.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a situation where you don't know what's going to happen. Things are out of your control. You're in God's hands. You know what I mean?
Knows?
So that's like, I thrive off that. That's like adrenaline for me. So I feel like it's a big process, a big step in being some, you know, for the ultimate goal, you know. I don't know if the ultimate goal is being famous or making money, but the ultimate goal is getting out there and being heard.
Yeah.
That's my ultimate goal.
Yeah. And that's a good way to look at it, because if at the end of the day you're happy with what you're doing, then that's really all you can ask for. You know?
Yeah, definitely. And I heavily agree, man. Like, chase what you want.
Yeah.
I wish more people would chase their dreams.
Well, like you said, it's easy to fall into that 9 to 5. And I mean, shit, that can happen to anybody, you know? You're working 9 hours, 10 hours a day. You're making decent money. You go home, you're tired, so you're not working on whatever you're actually passionate about. And then you blink and 20 years go by and then you can't, right? I mean, what do you do then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean? And having kids is a big part to that too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm no
Well, it's a huge,
me.
I mean, not kids are a commitment in and of themselves, you know, but it's a huge time commitment too.
Oh, major, you know what I mean? I mean, financial,
Yeah.
mental, I mean, and I see some of my friends have had kids now, and you know, you look at them and you look for the love in their eyes for their children. That's awesome. I love that, and I want to have that someday, but not now.
Yeah.
I need to focus on me.
Yeah.
It's
You at least got to try.
yeah.
I mean, if you had a kid and you never were able to try, I mean, having kids is awesome. I would imagine. I've never had a kid. I'm not ready for a kid, but you know, don't you want to go and chase something first?
Yeah.
Or just try?
And I wouldn't want that stress of somebody else having to take care of my child while I'm out doing something
Yeah.
else. You know what I mean? Like
That would be the hardest part.
I want to be there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I feel like timing. I feel like my late 20s would be a good time. Maybe early 30s.
Yeah.
Still young enough to have fun, but not, you know, old.
You're not tied down.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody. You're not responsible for anything else, you know?
Yeah.
It's just you.
Yeah. But when I'm about 30, I think about a good time.
So talk to me about these black market videos.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Black Market Vikings and the Goats times 10.
No.
It's my dad and my uncle's page on Instagram. We have about, between the two accounts we have about 55,000 followers.
Okay.
Yeah, we came out with a movie this last year, or the beginning of this year, and we just drop funny skits all the time. It's on CJ Humble on Instagram. CJ_Humble is the hashtag or the name, and we just make funny skits. You know what I mean? I play a Mexican guy named Fernando who's uses a lot of coke, and we just make funny skits, dude. I mean,
that's
check
cool.
them out sometime, dude. Like it's hilarious. I play another character named Officer Erica Torres. It's a female sergeant, and we go and we just bust weed operations and stuff.
Man.
It's hilarious, and there's no stone under not turned. It's crazy.
Yeah. What got you guys into that?
Oh, sorry if you hear me breathing a little heavy too.
No, you're good, man.
Yeah, I have stomach problems. But no, my uncle, he got out of jail, and he was really looking for something creative to do, to be out there and just do something different, not be back in the same loop and end up back where he was. So he started filming, and after the first couple videos, started taking off. I mean, they got like 10, 30,000 views in between there, and he was like, man, this is something that I could do. I really enjoy this. This is funny. I like making people laugh. So started that off and made a couple more videos. Sooner or later, it's a year and a half later, and We have 5,
Shoot.
6, 7, 8 sponsors, dude. I mean,
Oh shit.
yeah, we did the weed. We did one of the major weed tours. I forget what it's called. It was a Vegas, pretty much a convention for all the top people in the world, and we got invited to that. We had a booth there, and we did a movie sales over in Proper Wellness at the dispensary here. We had a big event, I believe in January, where we handed out our movie.
Oh,
and,
cool.
We had like sample bags.
Oh, you guys had like actual copies of it too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to bring you one.
Yeah, that's dope.
Our movie 1.5 actually drops on Thursday. It's called Black Market Vikings 1.5, and it is on YouTube. It's Black Market Vikings episode 1. It's
I'll definitely have to check that out. Yeah.
It's raw. Like we shoot, bro. We shoot on an iPhone Pro Max.
Oh man.
So I mean, it's great quality because the iPhone is a great.
Oh
camera,
yeah.
amazing camera, but it's just so raw and like it's. Have you ever seen Trailer Park Boys?
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like Trailer Park Boys, except we have a bunch of different skits instead of just one character all the time.
You guys are mixing it up.
Yeah, but it's hilarious, and they all tie in together. All the characters know each other, and they all, you know what I mean. So,
that's cool.
So we have a lot of dialogue. We'll have one person talking on the phone, and then like the other person talking on the phone is the same character, same guy playing the same guy. So it's just like it's a lot of back and forth, and it's really fun, and I really love that. Like that's being able to go and just pretend to be somebody. And just be the most outrageous person you could be. That's awesome, dude. I love that.
Yeah, that's gotta be a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, and they really do. They support me with my music and stuff. So it's
that's cool.
Yeah, I got a platform, and we have a platform, and we're actually building a studio down on Broadway. We have a little shop, and we're gonna we have a studio in the process, professional production.
Whoa.
We have a green screen in the background for filming, and then we have a whole major, soundproof room with the window and like the thing.
Everything.
Like a studio you'd see one of those pros in.
Yeah.
We have one of those being built right now.
That's awesome,
yeah,
man.
dude. We have some major stuff coming.
That's way cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Just trying to turn trap money.
Trying to make something.
Well, I'm trying to turn trap money into real money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how we trying to do it, man.
That's cool, man.
Grew up a little rough.
Yeah.
grew up rough with that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So
I imagine that weigh heavily on you.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a big thing like with rap too. Like I can relate to it because a lot of the stuff they talked about, I've done. You know what I mean? Like I'm not I'm not out there hitting licks or anything or robbing people, but I've done my fair share of, slimy stuff.
Yeah.
And I just want to I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So music is it.
That's your skate.
I want to get my legal bread. I'm not trying to get in any trouble. Just want to do that.
Yeah.
that's my ultimate goal.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's all part of growing up too, I feel like.
Dude.
You know?
That's why I love the title of your podcast, Growing Pains.
Thanks.
Because like I have a lot of those.
Yeah. I feel like everybody does, man.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own set of unique ones too, is the crazy part. It's not like across the board.
I feel like you said, we all hit a point. For me, it was about 22 when I hit that point where it was like, gotta mature, buddy. Like, you know what I mean? We gotta step up. And so this last year, and I was like right as I was turning 22. So it's been about a year since I really had that talk with myself. And I've changed a lot. I'd say over that last year, I've matured more than I ever have in my entire life. So it's just, once you hit that point,
What sparked that?
The Tesla. I was after Tesla, and I had moved to Reno, and it was my second time moving to Reno after I graduated high school, and it just wasn't working out, and I didn't know where I was going to go in life. Started to get depressed, you know what I mean? Feeling like I don't have a purpose, so it just needed to mature. I was too worried about the quick thrill, and you know what I mean? So I just realized that, you need to set something up for your future, because if you don't, 20 years go by, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's, fuck, dude. I feel like we graduated a couple days ago. It's already been
You're telling me.
Yeah, dude. It's going on 6 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes that moment where you step back and you're like, come on, I got to do something. Because time, dude, it's insane. Everybody says it, right? That time just goes by in the blink of an eye. Yeah. But
you don't really realize it until you look back.
You don't, yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, holy shit, dude. It's been a year. It's been a year since, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
And in high school, it goes so slow. Every day is like a month.
I know.
Every class is a week, and you're just dragging through.
Until you graduate, and then you're like,
Yeah, that was
What-
6 years ago. What?
What happened?
Yeah,
You know,
it's
so
crazy.
yeah, but ultimately though, dude, I really enjoy doing what I do. At
Mm.
the end of the day, dude, I love doing all kinds of entertaining, all kinds of. I'm a people person, and I want to be. I'm not worried about being judged or any kind of stuff. I'm not worried about the negative comments. I want to be in front of people, and I want them to see me.
Yeah.
And whether they like it or not, I want to be there.
Do you get a lot of negative comments from the music, or is it all pretty positive?
It's all pretty positive
That's
so far.
good.
I mean,
That's really
I
cool.
get a couple, you know what I mean, and more not really negative, but they're just more like criticize, trying to be positive critics or whatever, and that's good. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I love criticism, especially all kinds of ways, because I'm good at taking advice and I don't get offended easily. So I've been getting made fun of for my dads and uncles for years. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't take it too
Your
hard.
family will roast you harder than anybody,
Oh
man.
my gosh, dude, my dad is one of the hardest roasters I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
He'll say something crazy, dude. He'll say like, he'd be like, dude, I don't even know. I can't even go as crazy as he goes. He said off the wall stuff.
Yeah. But it's good. You almost need that to have thick skin, especially if you're going to be in like the eye of the public,
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need something like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've definitely seen a few people. I mean, I don't really know them personally, but I've definitely seen, just through social media and stuff, people get tore up pretty quick off some
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Say some stuff that they didn't mean or something, and it comes back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
So
Especially with anything, but with music too. I mean, now they want to censor a lot of music, which is crazy.
yeah, dude, and you know what I mean? It was crazy because I was just actually listening to YG, the fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I was listening to that the other day, just randomly. It popped up on my playlist, and it's like majorly censored. Like I looked on iTunes, and it's like there's whole like verses cut out. I'm like,
Oh,
when
really?
did they cut this out? Like, was there some kind of law passed to where they can't play this part, or you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know. I feel like censorship is the beginning of
The end.
yeah. You're taking away your creativity. If you can't be creative, what do we have?
Yeah.
I mean, without imagination, there's boring old world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just imagination is where everything starts. You know what I mean? And that's the key flame. That's that flame. It went because the only reason why I am able to wake up in the morning and do music every day, like it's a grind. Some days you don't want to do it, but it's that picture. I can picture myself standing in front of the crowd with thousands of people, millions of people. Hopefully one day, millions of people viewing. And that's my image, and that's what keeps me going because I could really see the picture in my head. Like I can see it. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of stuff. If I had a nickel for every time I've predicted something in my life, I'd be rich because I'm pretty good at picking up where I'm going in my life, especially whether it's negative or positive. Like I predicted in my mind. I don't know if it's predicted more than
like
manifest.
Yeah,
it's more manifest. I was always worried about in college because I shattered my ankle in high school playing football. I was worried in college, like, my screws are gonna back out. I'm gonna need another surgery. Sure enough, 4 days before my first day after training camp and everything, my screws were backing out of my ankle. My first year at CR.
Oh, man,
you know what I mean. I had to get a surgery, missed my whole season. So it's like stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always kind of just now, ever since that period of time when stuff really started negatively happen, I've been just trying to stay positive, always. Because I mean,
it's easy to get bogged down.
yeah, manifestation. I feel like is a huge. I feel like that's, and I'm glad you said that because that is a huge thing in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you're gonna win, you're gonna win. You feel like you're gonna lose, you already lost going in.
Yeah, that's 90% of it.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Just flowing with the ocean right now, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just try to do what comes. I'm not trying to force nothing. I'm just trying to be Jordan.
Yeah.
Be young Jonah.
Yeah. And I think people gravitate towards authenticity like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because they can sense when something's fake.
Yeah.
And they know. I mean, you can tell if someone's not being genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much of that, especially with social media now. Like, you can find it anywhere.
Oh, most
it's hard to work through that and find something that's real.
Most definitely. Yeah, man. I I keep trying to stay on topic, but
go, dude. You can go wherever you want to go.
For some reason, my brain is just because there's so much going on right now, dude. Like in the world right
Talk
now.
to me.
It's also hard to just focus on my music. That's why I haven't dropped any songs in a couple days. I just don't. I have them.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't feel like it was appropriate to
like
be pushing out. You know what I mean? Like, there's some serious issues going on in the world right now. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, cities are burning right now.
It's sad, bro. I mean, like, and I have opinions on both sides. You know what I mean? Like,
what's your take?
I'm all, you know what I mean? I'm all for the protests and everything, and I think it's mandatory, and I think we need to be heard because this is sickening. I'm tired of seeing people being murdered. It's sickening. It's gross. But at the same time, we don't need to piggyback on the protest and go burn stuff. Like, I don't think that's you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like if you're gonna burn stuff and break stuff down, why don't you have a little bit more planning? You know what I mean? Just don't go burn anything. You know what I mean? If you're gonna go burn down something specific, go do something specific. Don't just tear up people's cars and tear up, because these are brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers that, you know what I mean? That
depend on those businesses.
You know, and I just don't. I'm not very happy with the way that's looking out.
Well, and it's hard right now to have an articulate conversation about it too, because people are so polarized right now. They don't want to hear, yeah, I'm with this, but I also think this way. They want, you're either with it or you're against it. There's no nuance right now.
That's when I refuse to go and put this is the only opinion you're getting it exclusively on here for me, because I do not want to put my opinion out there like that, because I don't want to fight against people, and I don't want to.
It's not productive. Like, if we want to have an actual conversation about it, I'm all for that, but we can't just be yelling at each other, because then what are we achieving?
Yeah,
what's the point?
And then the insults start, and then it's just, I don't know, where everybody's so, like, it's just volatile right now. It's just at each other's necks, and I don't want to lose any friendships or anything.
That's my biggest thing. I'm sure you've seen it all over Facebook. People are like, dude, if you think this way, unfriend me. I don't want to talk to you anymore. We're not friends.
Yeah.
Like, holy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And
holy
it's
cow,
like,
man.
So, I don't know, man. People are just out there calling people racists, and
that word just gets thrown around now.
So much, dude. It's like
if you were called a racist back in the day, it meant something. But now it's like, it could be anything.
Yeah, dude. And it's kind of like the word goat. People just throw it around like it's just something, point. You know what I mean? Calling people the goat all the time, but
there's no value in it. Yeah, it's overused.
Exactly. So I feel like we have to. I don't know what's gonna happen, because like I was wondering, like, if they go and arrest all the cops for the situation for George Floyd, is it gonna stop? Is the rioting gonna stop? Or, I mean, is it going to shift to a peaceful protest? For, like, I know some places are peaceful protesting, which is amazing. Keep going. But is it going to stop? Like, what's going to happen? So, what do we want out of it is what I want to, like, you know what I mean? That's my biggest thing. Okay, rioting happened. It is what it is. But what do we want out of it? What are we going to do with, we have the attention now. Yeah. We have the world's attention. What are we going to do with it? So, that's the biggest thing. And I feel like nobody planned that. Nobody planned what's next.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where we're kind of caught up in a loop. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
You know, so hopefully something positive comes out of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would really love to see something positive come out of this.
Well, I think it's still just so raw right now that it's almost like there's not a grounded leader yet to come out of it and be like, this is the direction we have to go. Like, there's a lot of voices, which is good, but there's no unifying voice coming out of it that's like, okay, we've got all this attention, we've got all this power right now, let's use that and do something really productive with it, because you've got the opportunity right now. And it's hard, right?
Mm-hmm. And, you know, when I picture, when you're a kid and your teachers tell you, focus hard and you could be the next yada yada yada, the next Martin Luther King, the next whatever. This is the time.
Yeah.
This is the time where somebody is going to be made. Somebody's going to be read in the tech. Somebody is going to step up and going to be read in the textbooks by kids someday about today.
Yeah.
What happens now is going to be read in the textbooks 20 years later, and it's going to be talked about. So I feel like every crucial step that we make is something it's history. Mm-hmm. This is going to be People are going to look back at this in 20 years and be like, holy crap, things were wilding.
Yeah.
But this guy stepped up, and so I just feel like this is going to be another civil leader.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever decides to step up, like you said, and campaign this, whoever decides to campaign this is going to be the next leader, civil leader. And that's what I think we need.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need somebody with that voice and that power and that strength who's not afraid to be the face, not afraid to put themselves, you know what I mean? And once that happens, and with the good direction, who knows? You know what I mean?
Who knows where it could go?
Possibilities are endless.
What if nobody steps up though? Because I mean, our presidential campaign's coming up, and the only two options we really have are Trump or Biden, which you would think in any country, but especially this one, that we could have better options than Trump or Biden.
Yeah, I heavily agree with that. You watch South Park ever?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what he said between what did he say? A douche and a turd sandwich. They had the presidential election, and they had to choose between a douche and a turd sandwich.
Oh my god.
That's kind of where
that's
we're
what
at
it
right
feels
now.
like.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, do you want slop or do you want shit?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, man. And personally, I believe they're gonna probably reelect Trump. I honestly like. Probably.
Well, that's kind of the problem.
Yeah.
Let's since we're talking about this, we got to set it straight. I don't want to speak for both of us, but I would assume you feel the same way for what I'm about to say, is that everyone agrees, and I think it's pretty much universal, that what happened to George Floyd should not have happened.
Never.
There's no excuse for it. There's no justifying it. That shouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I think something that, is definitely more polarizing is the notion that peaceful protests are really good and really powerful, but when they turn into riots, and when you're running over people with your cars, and when you're burning down businesses that everyone depends on, people of color, minorities, white people, everyone depends on, you're hurting people. You're hurting more people than have already been hurt. And I don't think that's good. And I don't know how you can justify that, right?
Yeah, no, totally. And especially like with the family-owned businesses, like if you're gonna go burn something, go burn the government-owned building.
Yeah.
Don't go burn the
Be organized. Like, why are you going and looting REI?
Yeah.
Like or Walmart or Target? Like what? Or burning down somebody's business that is just like, a father or a small business owner. Like,
I don't know, man. And there's a lot of speculation. Everybody knows there's a lot of speculation going about what's really going on.
mm-hmm.
And if there's people, hired by certain agencies to go and
Antifa's being thrown around.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. We're not going to know what's going on in this huge blanket of mess until a couple months down the road when this is all done. I think it's just, God, 2020's been so rough, dude.
Dude, we have a pandemic going on right now, and now the country is literally burning.
I mean, and then what was before that? I mean, the amazing Kobe died before that, and then it was just been crap after crap after crap after crap, dude. And it
feels like the world's gonna end.
Yeah, man. And you know what I mean? Like, you start to think, I don't know if you heard about the Simpson conspiracies about how they
predicted a lot of this, right?
Yeah, dude. And I mean, they predicted the killer bees too.
I forgot about that.
They predicted the pandemic. They predicted the riots. They predicted all this stuff. So I mean, who knows, man? That guy's...
Well, now you've got the cicadas that are hatching too and are going to swarm or whatever. Like,
dude,
it's just one thing after another.
Yeah, dude. Like
the Pentagon releasing the UFO videos.
You know what's funny though is I'm a really big cartoon junkie when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like Simpsons and Family Guy, my favorite. Futurama's probably my favorite, but Family Guy's up there. The same writer of The Simpsons. I forget his name, but he's one of the main writers for Futurama too.
Okay.
So they're saying, people think that that's him telling on himself, because Futurama is about the future.
Yeah.
Fry gets frozen to a future time, and they think that he's pretty much snitching on himself with that. So like, I'm huge. Like, I'm not saying I'm personally a conspiracy theorist, but I love to read about him.
Yeah, it's easy to go down the wormhole.
Oh, dude, it's like when you look at a video on YouTube and you click on another one, and you click on another one, and you click, and 4 hours later, you're supposed to be sleeping 2 hours ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
you're up at 4 a.m. Like, dude,
this is dope.
Yeah,
yeah.
And there's so many of them out there.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's a tough time.
Yeah,
it's a tough time all around, and there's no unifying voice.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Trump in office, which isn't unifying on a good day. And then these riots, dude, they're polarizing people to the opposite direction of the cause, right? Because if you're in the middle and you're seeing these riots and you're seeing these businesses burn, you're going to lean more right because you don't want to associate with that. So like where does it go? Like what are we trying to achieve here?
Exactly.
In a sense.
Exactly. I feel like if we find that point, if we find out where we're going and what we're doing with this, I feel like it'll be all for something. You know what I mean?
A lot of good can come out.
A lot of good can.
The horrible thing that happened.
We have a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of eyes. And there's a lot of eyes, a lot of attention on what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
So it's just, I feel like it has to be a calculated step. I don't know who, you know, because there are all these major cities. I don't know. People are going to have to head, you know what I mean? Get to with their cities and get with their people and decide what they want to do. But at the end of the day, man, a lot of this is out of our hands. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just try to roll with the punches, man. Like I'll protest for something I believe in strongly, and I do believe in this. But as soon as stuff starts to get thrown out of hand, then I'm leaving.
Yeah, because then it's not about the cause, and that's something I've heard thrown around a lot. Is this is no longer about George Floyd? Like opportunists or Antifa or whoever it is, it's got to be a small portion because you see the videos of protesters trying to defend some businesses and stuff, you know. But there are opportunists out there that are taking advantage of the situation, and they're causing damage and undermining what those people are out there to fight for.
Yeah. No, there's definitely people trying to take advantage of the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, like with all the same thing with like the COVID stuff, I thought there'd be a lot more robberies with all these masks and stuff
too.
I think that's one thing I gotta applaud America about that because I thought there was gonna be a lot more muggings and stuff going on because I mean I walked in the bank the other day with a bandana wrapped
It's a
around
crazy
my face.
feeling, right?
I was like, dude, I feel like I'm about to rob this place. What
the
hell? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's just weird times, man. I don't know. It's just weird times, and
nothing seems right.
Yeah, now. You know. So I just wanna coast until we're done with this, and I that's one thing I hate that everybody's like, man, if you don't say nothing, you're I
know it's hard. I was wondering if this was going to come up today, and I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't know how it's
totally.
So it's hard to almost have a conversation about anything because you know there are people out there that if you're not with them, then you're against them.
Oh yeah, dude.
Which is such a black and white way of looking at it.
Oh yeah, and it's so easy to twist people's words up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to just take a part of what somebody's saying and then make it without context. That's what it is. So and that's a lot of it. A lot of false information being spread.
Yeah, how do you wade through it?
You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's the same reason why I don't watch the news. One news outlet says this thing, and the next news outlet is completely contradicting that. So it's like, who's the asshole?
Yeah.
Me for paying attention.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So
especially if that's all you're getting is like CNN or Fox News, you're going to be so far on one side that there's almost no coming back from that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Like I work at CalCourts.
Okay.
So I get a lot of conversation with like, you know, the older people who come in, and I know people who are extreme leftist, and you know what I mean? And I know some pretty, you know, I'm younger generation, know a lot of liberals.
Yeah.
So it's wait, hold on. Left? Just because I don't pay attention. Left is the conservative side, right?
No, left is liberal.
Okay.
Yeah, right is conservative.
Right. Okay. So that's what I meant. I know a lot of people that are from the right wing from CalCourts, and I know a lot of leftists. You know what I mean? So it's all about what you believe, what you watch, what you want to choose to believe.
Yeah, you can be swayed to one side or the other.
Yeah.
At the drop of a hat, you know?
Yeah, and it's social media, and social media has a lot to do with that. You know what I mean? School. I mean, I remember being at school and going through, you know what I mean, going through the 1800s or 1900s earlier. You know what I mean? They're talking about the racism and slavery, and everybody in class turns and looks at, you know what I mean, the one person in class that's colored and stuff. It's just, it's dude, I had a total brain fart. Holy shit. I'm a stoner. Yeah,
so happens sometimes.
Yeah, no, I completely forgot where I was going with that. I'm a stoner.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially if you go to college, you're almost, you know, predetermined to be liberal.
Oh yeah,
and an extreme liberal almost most of the time.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say I'm a liberal, but I
Mhm.
mean, like, you know, I believe in a lot of stuff that they stand for. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff, you know, I believe that it's, I don't really like, I don't really articulate my thoughts about this stuff a
Mhm.
lot because I keep it in, so it's kind of hard for me.
No,
to,
I
like,
totally get that.
you know what I mean? And
It's normally dangerous to try to
Yeah.
bring those thoughts out and work through
Yeah.
them and process them, which is a shame.
Yeah, like they say, three things don't talk about in public is religion, politics, and I don't even talk about it, so I don't even know what the third thing is.
Yeah.
So religion and politics is really my two no-nos.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I just, like I said, I just do me.
Yeah.
I just do me
That's a good way to
100%
look
of the
at it.
time, man. And like I said, this is the only opinion, and the only people who are gonna hear my opinion about this is right here with you, because after this, I'm done talking about it. I heard my mom. My mom came into town this last weekend, and she just couldn't stop talking about it. I had my
Mhm.
earload. You know what I mean? Older
Well, you
people.
can't. I mean, you can't get away from it. Not that you, and it's hard to say that because you shouldn't want to get away from it. But
Yeah.
it's like you're
You're
just getting
like,
bombarded, and it's not constructive bombardment. You know, it's just
it's opinions.
it's people yelling,
Yeah,
screaming
exactly.
into the void.
They want to be heard. Everybody wants to be heard.
Yeah,
Everybody has to be heard about this.
and everybody's opinion is right.
Yeah.
There's no nuanced
yeah.
answers. It's this or that, and if you don't agree with one or the other, then you're out.
Oh yeah. I mean,
That's the scariest thing, is that people are willing to close off entire friendships over an answer that's not nuanced.
mhm.
It's like it's black or white. It's this or that. What side are you on?
Yeah.
I saw this video, and I didn't fact check it or anything, which I got it. It's so hard to do that. I got to get better about doing that. But it was
Yeah.
this dude, this older gentleman. He was African American, and he's in the middle of the street after one of these protests, and he's yelling and crying, screaming at these protesters, like, "Why did you burn my building? You guys are so angry and you're so hateful towards the white man. Why did you burn my building? Like, why did you burn my truck? Why did you steal my computer? You guys are young. You don't know any better. I tried to make it. Like, I was raised in the ghetto. Like, I tried to make it. Why did you guys do this to me?
Mhm.
Like, you call this black power. What is this?"
Mhm.
And dude, that broke my heart. That was hard. That was hard to watch,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
you really see most of the time, like on CNN and stuff, you're seeing pro riot side of things. You don't really get the perspective of like who this is really hurting.
Yeah. And that's what I was like saying. Like, if you're gonna burn stuff down that should specifically is gonna, you know, I mean, I'm not for the burning down, but if you're gonna burn something down, burn down a government building or something. You know what I mean? Don't burn down the family owned mom and pop shop that was grow up in the community and gives free ice creams to kids and stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
donates to the local
You know what I
school,
mean?
tries to help
Like,
kids.
yeah. So if you're gonna do anything, do it on a more corporate scale. I mean, I don't believe.
But even like, why attack Target?
Exactly. I mean, at
Like,
the end of
people
the day-
work there that are
Oh, yeah.
obviously from the community. So
Oh,
now
yeah.
you just took jobs that might have been there after the pandemic, but now they're not going to be there. It's just hard.
It's all the writing is pretty. I mean, it's just so much. There's so much that goes into it, and that's why I hate talking about it so much. 'Cause
I
it's
know.
like it's like I love that we're there.
Mm.
I love that we're ready to take action. Like, I love that, but it's just the way it's happening isn't sit well.
It's
with me.
not.
Doesn't sit well.
It's
with me.
counterproductive in
Yeah.
a lot of ways.
Yeah. So I just.
Because there's so much power right now. Like, you could literally bring about some real change.
We're at a tipping point, dude. We're at a tipping point, and either all hell's gonna break loose, or we're gonna find the right path. I mean, it's one of the two, and hope it's not the latter.
Yeah. Well, I just heard we have more National Guard in the U.S. than ever before, I think, and Trump is deploying like 200 or 250 active duty military personnel to some of these cities, which is a huge. He invoked some insurrection act, I think, from like the 1800s maybe, and it grants him the power to bring in some active duty military, which is a huge, huge moment, because that, I mean, the military policing people now.
Martial law.
What's next? I mean, where do we go from here? What are we going to bring in more? Like, we're taking steps that seriously going to define the next few decades of America. You know what I mean? What happens in the coming weeks? It's gonna be huge.
Like I said earlier, like these next few weeks are what's gonna be written in the history books.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? This is gonna make the narrative. You know what I mean? This is where the director takes action.
Yeah.
So
And the camera's on. It's rolling.
Big time.
It's been rolling.
Big time. Nobody's in the shadow. Everybody's in the light right now. Everybody's exposed. So I mean, I really don't like and to speak on the other side of things, I really don't like how Trump and everybody, you know what I mean, is really just making everybody trying to turn the protesters, like, especially because there's a lot of peaceful ones.
Yeah.
Trying to turn everybody into these thugs and these goons, and you know what I mean? He didn't call those KKK riot, all those people who did the KKK protests. They didn't, or with tiki torches. He didn't call them thugs. He called them peaceful people,
stand up citizens.
Yeah, he
or
said
something, didn't he?
Stand up peaceful
Don't quote
citizens.
me on that, but I think,
something
like
in that nature. And it's like, come on, man. Like, that's almost blatant racism right there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the most subtle, blatant racism I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So it's just like, why? How did we get to this point where we have somebody in office just tweeting massive just crap off of, like a 16-year-old girl who's angry at her best friend, just tweeting stuff on the internet? Like, where did we get to that point? Like, how? Mm-hmm. We went from a respectable president to this.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if you would argue that anybody was a model of what the president should be, it was Barack Obama.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was charming. He was charismatic. He was extremely intelligent. He was articulate. Like, if ever there was a person that embodied the weight and the gravity of what a presidency is, it was him. And now we've got Trump, which is the exact opposite. Whether you like him or not, you got to realize he's the polar opposite of what Barack Obama was.
And you know what I mean? And
not that, I mean, good and bad for both presidencies, but
yeah. I mean, and to talk about, like, and that's just me going back to my conspiracy stuff. Like, I mean, personally, I believe he might have been put there.
We're gonna go down deep right here.
You know what I mean? If we want to go, I feel like he might have been put there. You know what I mean? Like, he lost the vote. He lost the popular vote. He won by electoral college. I mean, he could have been put there as a way to, like, look, hey, black people, you got your president. Now, just to show you that this doesn't mean anything, we're gonna go and put this piece of shit in here just to show you that, oh yeah, that doesn't mean anything. Anybody could be that position. So don't get happy. Don't feel too proud. And that's almost what I got from it. You know what I mean? Like, here, we'll put this dumbass in here just to show you that it doesn't mean anything. We'll do what we want to do. Whoever this guy is doesn't matter. So and that's like almost what I got from it. You know what I mean?
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, and it's kind of like, here, like, this isn't nothing. You think the president? You think you're on top of the world because the president? You had a black guy as a president? Nah, we're gonna put a dumbass in. And he's an amazing businessman. Let's not get that wrong. Trump is an amazing businessman.
Well, he's lost a lot of money, which a lot of people don't realize too. Not taking away from his business credibility, but he has lost millions. He's screwed a lot of people to get where he is. I mean, he's a cutthroat businessman.
Well, that's
and
business.
you can't argue that he has not made a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
But he's also had, like, Trump University. Google that. That thing will blow your mind. Oh my god. Dude, I feel so bad for those people.
That's a typical 70s, 80s
cutthroat businessman.
Yeah, 70s, 80s.
Do whatever it takes.
Just nasty scheming businessman.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, you can't knock him for that.
Yeah.
That's one thing he will always be.
He's always been himself.
Yeah.
He didn't fake anything to get there. I mean, a lot of things came out in his campaign that should have ended it, but he's always been himself.
Yeah, and it's like one of those people, you lose respect for somebody who goes and says something that nobody likes, and then changes. You know what I mean? You lose respect for those people.
Yeah, because you don't stand for anything.
Exactly. You know, if you don't stand for anything, you're gonna fall for everything. So, but he doubles down.
Yeah.
And he
leans into it. He's like, yeah, I said that. Yeah, I did this.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, you gotta respect him for that. Like, I don't like him, but you know what I mean. I have a sense of respect for him,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of the day, he's the fucking president, dog. So I'm not hoping our president does anything bad because it's our president. I mean, whether I like it or not. And I mean, he's like I said, not maybe he's not my president personally, but he's our president.
Yeah.
So like, I don't hope any bad for him.
We should be holding him to the standard of the presidency, but we're lowering it to a Trump standard.
Yeah, and I just don't get. I don't get the people who don't see it. I don't get what they don't see, and like I just don't get what they don't see though. Like people like my grandma, dude. She is a diehard Christian. I mean, to the T, dude. I mean, she wouldn't buy me Pokemon cards as a kid because she thought it was magic. Like, dog, she is like diehard. So but she doesn't see the racism. She doesn't see that, and it's like, grandma, you took care of people from Somalia. Like, you brought them in and adopted them. How do you not see that this is offensive to people? Like, how? And my mom and my grandma had to have like it's my great grandma, so my mom's grandma, and they had like a tight relationship, but now they're like kind of strange. Like, my mom just came into town and didn't even tell my grandma she was coming. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's not normal.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is what it's doing to us, and it's like
dividing us.
Yeah, and it's on a personal note. You know what I mean? Like, I personally affected me, so it affects us. So it's just like, I don't know, man.
Part of me wants to argue that, you know, part of why the reason Trump got elected is because of the left. The left went too far left in a lot of ways, and a lot of people, rather than be like, okay, they turned against it. And they're like, no, you guys are too far left. We're going to lean right. We're going to ride for the opposite. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of things on the left and on the right that are just crazy, that they're even out there, and that, like, the idea that, what is it? I almost don't want to. It's hard, right? Because you don't want to say some things because you know that they can get taken and people can run with it. But you also have to be able to work through your own ideas. You know what I mean? And have these conversations, even though they're difficult, and just hope that the people that really know who you are will stick by you. But like, the idea that, do you know what dead naming is on Twitter?
No.
So dead naming is if a person transitions, right? And you use them by, like, if a man transitioned to a woman and you called him a him or a he or a guy or something on Twitter, you can get banned from Twitter.
Oh, okay. And
I think that speaks volumes on like where we are as a country. Is like the left is so like supposedly so pro free speech and stuff, but they want to censor a lot of speech, right? Like we were talking about the music, like they don't want you to say, like Drake the other day apologized for calling Kylie his side piece in a song. Like, why are you apologizing? Like, what?
And that was like 3 years ago too. Like,
oh, was it? I just saw it the other day.
No, I'm saying that video, the original video of that song. Oh, well, the video was taken the other day, but that song was written actually. I did some digging there. It was written like 3 or 4 years prior.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like it was like
freaking fake news got me, man.
Well, it was before because the Kylie he had those before Travis and all them were like together and stuff like that. So he wrote that song as like when they were, you know, kind of flirting around, and he did apologize though. I saw that. And
do you think he should have?
I mean, it's his friend's girlfriend, his baby mama. So I mean, I feel like it was out of respect for him more than anything.
Okay, I get that.
I mean, he wouldn't want. I mean, Travis Scott, he seems like a great dude. I mean, I hope one day maybe I'm big enough to meet him, but he seems like a great dude. So I mean, I imagine I wouldn't want any kind of hostility between. Somebody.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? I think it was more so for
him,
Travis.
not for the public. I got the perception, and my fault. I fell into the trap. Was that the media made him apologize?
Oh yeah,
which is crazy because Eminem used to say some wild stuff.
Shock value.
Yeah, wild stuff. But he didn't apologize for it.
Oh yeah.
But then again, you couldn't talk about. My sister brought up a good point actually. You couldn't talk about Haley, or Eminem would go in on you. That shit was off limits.
Oh yeah. And yeah, he was best personally top 5 rappers all time.
Yeah.
Eminem, one of the GOATs for sure. Yeah. But M is a specific topic though, because he's a different breed.
Yeah.
He's one of those people that you would never. I mean, I wouldn't come at him with anything, let alone fueling him with that fire, talking about his daughter. That's like, I don't know what MGK was thinking, trying to.
Okay, Times, I want to come back to that because I do want to talk about that too. But back to the dead naming thing, I think that's indicative of like how the left views speech. Is you can have free speech unless your speech hurts somebody or makes them feel bad, then you don't get free speech anymore. They want to censor that speech, which is crazy. Like you should be able to say, yeah, people are going to say messed up things and it sucks. You would hope that everyone's nice to each other, but that's not realistic in life. Like it's just not. Unfortunately, in a perfect world, we'd all be nice to each other, right? But that's not real. I mean, it's not real. And rather than tell people that, oh, other people should monitor their speech and should not say things that hurt you, you should be teaching your kids, hey, people are going to say messed up things. You have to be resound in who you are and be stronger than that. Words, whatever happened to the sticks and stones may break my bones, but words aren't going to hurt me. Like that mantra is gone.
When did we become so soft?
Exactly. That's a better way of putting it. When did we become soft?
When did we become so soft? Because like, I know personally without football, because I mean, okay, we're gonna go deep here. I was bullied as a kid. Like before I moved, because I grew up. I was born here in Eureka. I was born in Arcade actually, but I grew up here in Eureka till I was about 5. Moved to Reno, from 5 to 12. I had a period where I was picked on. You know what I mean? I was heavily nerd. You know what I mean? And I just got picked on. But if I would never go back and change that. I was angry. I'm still angry. I still would probably punch that kid in the mouth today. But I would never go back and change that because that made me who I am today. I will never ever let anybody push me around, and I'm never gonna be soft about it either. Like I'm never gonna take. You know what I mean? I'm never just going to take what somebody says and just let it burrow into my head. And I think the sheltering of that, I'm not for bullying at all. No, not at all. But I feel like the sheltering of the level of sheltering people have done for their kids. Exactly. It just made it to where people are just soft.
It cripples you.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like adversity made me who I am today. And, without that extra, you know what I mean, fuel of somebody saying, hey, you're not going to make it, buddy. You suck. That pushes me. Pushes me. It almost pushes me harder than the good comments.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think people have that extra level. A lot of people don't. And they just have that give up.
Yeah.
They're I suck, or, oh, they said this about me. It must be true. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of, and I feel like that was the start of all the soft, you know, the softening of the people is just, you know, take away the adversity from people, take away the criticism, and then that's it.
The participation trophies.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Here's your award, buddy. You did great. You didn't play a single inning.
You placed last, but
you didn't
last.
Yeah, you didn't get a single hit all year. Here's a trophy. So like, I don't know. Adversity, I feel like, builds you, and without adversity, there's nothing. I mean, you're just floating.
My favorite quote, and I am drawing a huge blank on who said it, and I feel so bad because it's my favorite quote, right? And I've got it written actually in my room, is adversity introduces a man to himself, which is so true. And we're not letting these kids. Yeah, bullying is bad. It's not good. Nobody wants their kid to be bullied. Nobody wants to be bullied. But that it can strengthen you, you know, and it can make you who you are. It can also, on the other side, it can also cripple you. I know some kids that I unfortunately was never really close with, and that were actually in our high school class that didn't make it through bullying, you know, which is hard because
it's hard, dude. It's
the other side of the coin,
you know. And I've been there, dude. I've been to the part where like you're like, dude, maybe are they right? Like, are these people right? You know what I mean? And it hurts, bro. It really does hurt. It's painful. Like even looking back now, like I have this thing where like I'm super nice, super peaceful, like 99% of the time. But as soon as I feel like somebody like feels like they can bully me, somebody feels like, oh, go do this. You're my little punk. You know what I mean? Like that is gonna get under my skin faster than anything, because it's like I'm never gonna let that happen again.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm never gonna let somebody just come and push me around. So that's that is it's a pain that's not felt through. It's not a physical pain. You never will feel it physically, but
it sticks with you.
It sticks with you, dude. It's like a burden that you kind of got to carry around until, and I believe that you don't have to, like, the day that you decide to go and forgive whoever, you know what I mean? But it's
always going to stick with you.
Yeah,
though,
it's hard
to some extent.
It's hard, and it's hard to go and forgive people who did stuff like that at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I wouldn't take it back. I'm happy who I am today, but I definitely punched that kid in the mouth. Rylan Wolf, if I ever see you, I'm beating you up. That's just it. That was his name way back when. But
yeah.
So like, it's.
I'm gonna hang that up.
Yeah.
Keep going.
No, man.
Rookie mistake.
Oh, you're good, brother. You're good. I'm pretty rookie myself. Half the topics we get into, I keep like spacing
go down
out.
a rabbit hole with
and then I keep like, because like I'm still like, dude, I smoked like 30 blunts yesterday on the way home. Jesus Christ. So I'm like still jet lag, and I had to drive. I smashed to Frisco and back within like 10 hours, or well, not 10 hours. That's like the trip length, but
yeah, that's a long trip.
Yeah, I just there and back and within the day. Rough.
It's a lot of driving.
Yeah,
it's a lot of car time.
And nobody else wanted to drive.
You drove the whole way.
Yeah, my buddy. We hit about. He's like, I'll drive at halfway point. We hit Willits, and he's like, bruh, just drive the rest of the way. We're almost there.
Oh man.
I was like, you POS. I don't want you to drive my car anyways.
Oh man, that's a long drive.
Yeah, but it's man, I love Humboldt County, dude.
It's a great place to live.
You know what I mean? Some of the people are shitty, but Humboldt County itself, I love Humboldt, and
so beautiful too.
Dude.
Come on.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's so beautiful. Trinidad, up in the hills, Patrick's Point, dude. I could get lost over there and just not give a care in the world. I just love it. I'm a nature kid, and I'm going to move away someday, and I'm gonna move to LA or something like that. But I always come home. I love home, and that's a lot of things I want to make it, because I want to come back. And I want to buy a house in, Trinidad over the views, or, I want to do something big, and I want to come back and open a shop here. I want to give back.
Yeah.
That's like my biggest thing. And that's my biggest thing for getting rich. Like, I don't even care about being famous at all. It's not what I want, which, I mean, I would love the platform. I use it great, but I want to be able to make a change with my money. That's what it is. I don't care about personal gains. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. I don't care. I can live by small means. But I want to be able to make a difference. Like, I saw you had Haley on the other day. Like, how she's able to go and make a difference, and like,
what she's done is incredible.
Yeah, no, she's amazing. Like, I've known Haley for a long time. She's done some amazing work, and I like.
Yeah, right.
Haley, you're a beast. But being able to make a change. Yeah, shout out to Haley Lamb. But I just feel like. I want to make a change, and you know what I mean. People who are able to do that that's life. You know
what it's all about.
That's what it's about, is being able to impact somebody else's life. If I can go and build a school or build a hospital or build something, you know what I mean, and put this $1 million in meals for kids, like, that's what I want to do. Yeah. That's what motivates me to get rich. It's not about the fancy cars and the watches, dude. I got hella chains and stuff, and I don't wear them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't wear none of that. Like, I mean, sometimes I might for a music video or something, which is on the way. Got a couple of them on the way. But I don't wear them like that, dude. Like, I'm pretty modest. I like to be regular.
It's kind of a lost art today.
Yeah. I mean, maybe when I get a little bit more money, I'll start flexing. And I am about to get blasted. As soon as these tattoo places open up, I'm going from wrist to wrist.
Oh, yeah? Sleeves?
Everything. Sleeves, chest, everything. I promised my mom I wouldn't go over the neck until I make my first $1 million.
Okay. That's a solid goal right there.
Yeah, when I make my first
driving force.
Yeah, so I promised my mom. Love you, mama. But I don't know, man. I just want to get rich. My plan. I want to make $1 million off the music. Make a contract, at least $1 million. I want to take $1 million and invest. Like, that's what I'm doing.
That's the way to do it.
First, after I buy a little house or whatever, get my family set, taking $1 million, I'm buying $1 million in investments. And that's what's going to happen, because there's money in music and stuff, but like,
there's real money.
Have you ever seen how much Warren Buffett gets?
Woo!
Dude, Warren Buffett made don't quote me exactly, but he made roughly around $198 million off of or was that my bad. That's a B.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's higher. Yeah.
No, he didn't make 108 billion because what's his name's only worth 100 billion, but it was 198 million. It was
Was it?
It was 198 million.
But Berkshire Hathaway, they're sitting on some serious capital.
Yeah. Well, I was saying he made 198 just off Coca-Cola.
Okay.
And he doesn't work for Coca-Cola at all. He just has shares in it.
Yep.
So the CEO of Coca-Cola made $3 million for the 2019 year. He made 198 million just off stocks.
Yep.
That is the power of stocks.
Yeah.
And so like that in the morning, that's what gives me my adrenaline rush. Like that's what gets me going when I think about that stuff. And it's like, got to start somewhere. And I feel like music is the easiest path for me personally to millions, to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So,
and even if you keep making more money off music, you've always got the interest building on what you invest. I think Elon Musk is going to make $1 billion or a few billion off of his Tesla stock. So he owns a lot of Tesla stock.
That dude was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's crazy. He's definitely gonna be one of the biggest. He has a lot more to do. Like before this man dies, he's gonna do some crazy stuff, and I have a feeling one day he might put a man on Mars. You know what I mean? Like maybe if not him, his son XA12 or whatever his son's name, he's gonna put somebody on the moon. Yeah. So like,
some people are just
or not the moon, Mars, but yeah, those guys are different. Their brain works different. Yeah, their brain works at like a supercomputer, and like I'm a smart guy. I know how to do. I know I could put complex problems together in my head, but those guys,
different level.
Oh my gosh, like it just makes me think. I have a couple of my friends I know that are just super mathematicians. Like I'm a really good writer. Like I love to write. I'm really good at articulating my words when I want to, but these guys, like the way that the math works in their head, holy shit, dude. Yeah. Like they can look at a problem and just all the steps in their head. And I'd never have been able to do that. Like, you know what I mean? My brain works in a different ways. Like one of my best friends, he is able to look at a bunch of pieces of wood and just picture a chair. He could just see a bunch of pieces of wood on the ground and be like, okay, that's a chair there. It's like, what? How? Yeah. How do you see a chair? You know what I mean? So it's like, that is a skill that is very underrated. You know what I mean? It's just being able to see something unfinished and just seeing the finished product.
Yeah. Everybody's got their niche, right?
Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, that's one reason why I would never, ever, I see rookie on my part too.
You're good.
I would never, ever hate on somebody doing the 9 to 5. Cause like
at the end of the day, it's what makes you happy.
You know, exactly. You know what I mean? My sister, she busts her. She works at Tesla still. Well, she actually works at Panasonic. But there's 3 companies in the factory. It's the Gigafactory. It's so big they have 3 enormous companies in there. But they all work for Tesla. They're all contracted through Tesla. But anyways, yeah, my sister, she works for Panasonic in the Tesla building, and she's got a raise, making like $23 an hour, and she's happy. She has her own place. She's my younger sister. Oh, so like, you know what I mean? She right now at this point, she's bringing in more money than I am. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I gotta go hustle to make that money. My sister's just pulling it out her ass, and I'm proud of her. You know what I mean? Like
it's another good motivator.
Yeah. You know what I mean? She's the younger one, but yeah, it's she's loyal to the soil. You know what I mean? And when I look at different type of people, she and my other little sister Nevaeh, they're which I have about 6 sisters. But from my mom's side, I just really look at like how different we are. But like, you know, we're the same in the core with our roots, but we're so different. My sisters aren't like me. My sister is not like, she's loyal to the soil. She's gonna ride with her whoever she believes in, her boyfriend. She's loyal to the soil for him. I'm not gonna speak on his situation, but he's in some shit and she rides or dies with him. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, you need to leave this guy alone. And I mean, it's not like he's bad for her personally, but he just is going through some stuff in his life. And she's like, my parents are like, you know, leave him alone, let him do his thing. And she's like, no, I'm going to work through it with him. And as much as we don't like that, you know, she's taking her time away from her life to go interfere in his, got to respect her for it. Because she's loyal. But like me, and I'm like, I'm loyal to a fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm loyal to, like, I see something. My sister will give you 3-4 chances. I'm the type after 1 or 2. You know what I mean? If I really love you, I'll give you one extra chance. But and like she's comfortable. You know what I mean? My youngest sister, I could see she's a little bit more like me. She's creative, but she's gonna be more the stationary route. Like my younger sister didn't like school. See, rookie mistake. Let me do this. My dad. It's ghost times 10. That ringtone fire, by the way. But yeah, I feel like my younger sister, she's gonna be the more stationary route. She's gonna finish high school, go straight to college, and do something from there.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm the risk taker, man. I always told my mom, I said, I'm gonna be filthy rich, or I'm gonna be dead broke. One of the two, because
There's no in between.
No, there's no in between. I'm gonna put all my into it. And I was like, I'm not settling for the dead broke either. So that leaves one option.
Yeah.
So and I don't know, man. It's
that not having a safety net. It drives you.
Yeah.
It really makes you focus. And
yeah, I mean, it just leaves me dumbfounded for words, because I wake up every morning, you know what I mean, and I look at myself in the mirror, look at something that just makes me feel so mortal, you know what I mean? Like, I just, you die any day, and it's so hard to find purpose out of your day, you know what I mean? Even when you're sitting there writing and you get a dope song, I think about, well, okay, I'll get, 30, 40, 50,000 views maybe, and people will love it, but at the end of the day, what's next? You know what I mean? What's next? What am I doing? So it's hard, you know what I mean? And that's the human condition.
Yeah.
We always gotta have a purpose. We can't just
that
be
angst.
We can't just be, the here and in the moment. I try to be here in the moment in my head, but I'm so far tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'm so worried about what am I gonna make out of this? And that's what makes us human, I think, personally. It's just this driving urge. I don't know, man. I just wake up in the morning and want to be something, be something. And I don't feel like a lot of people have that. I feel like a lot of people kind of just wake up and float. You know what I mean? And not knocking anybody. I don't knock anybody. Live your life the way you are, but I can't do that. I can't just wake up and float.
Yeah. I think it's a comfortability thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely is.
It's easy to be comfortable.
Yeah.
It's hard to eat shit for a few years trying to do what you want to do. That's hard.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's like when I grew my hair out the first year or two, it's ugly, nasty afro that would just like stick right here. But now I got long hair. Long. It finally fell, and I got like hair like down to my nipples.
Just gotta stick with it.
Yeah, dude. I got like Jesus locks when I get out of the shower. But let me ask you, man, how was your life after high school? I mean,
good. Kind of the same angst. You know what I mean? I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I went to CR for a semester. Followed a girl, went to Oregon State for a little bit. Thought that was kind of my path. Switched it up, went to Sacramento. Still school because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Now I'm out in New York going to school because I still am trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Is that where you're at currently right now?
Yeah.
So when this is all done and school's back in, you're going back out there?
Back to New York, yeah.
Awesome,
I've got a year left, and then I'm out.
So are you going to the University of, or what schools?
Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute.
Sounds like a badass school.
It's pretty cool. I like it. A lot of nice people. Definitely a different vibe on the East Coast.
Dude, I've never been to New York. I've always wanted to go.
It's a hustle out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to
Those
DC.
people are built different too.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to DC and stuff. Went to Virginia and whatnot, but never been out there.
Yeah. You'd probably like it. It's cool to go out. I don't know if I could live out there.
Yeah.
But
I when I think about New York, it kind of gives me like a San Francisco style vibe with all the like how the buildings are so close like that, like they're all stacked up like this up a hill. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I picture it. Is that correct?
I haven't been to the city. I'm upstate a little bit.
Okay.
But from like friends that I've talked to, yeah, I actually am friends with a girl out there who is from San Francisco and she's going to school out there and she's been to the city a lot and she's like, yeah, except it's like, magnified by 10 or whatever because it's so much smaller. Even San Francisco looks spread out.
Yeah.
Compared to New York City,
because you don't really like think about how small that stuff actually is over on the East Coast. Like all
Manhattan's
this
tiny, dude, and there's
yeah,
millions of people stacked on
that's
top of each other.
crazy. That's crazy. I
Yeah,
couldn't
no
do that.
thanks.
I couldn't do that.
No thanks.
Yeah, that's how they like. That's how I picture China too. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah,
lot of places, because you know, I mean, a lot of places I've seen that they had 4 or 5 people living in a 1 bedroom. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
yeah. China's wild.
Yeah,
They've got people living at factories. They've got dorms like college.
that's wild.
They've got nets on the side so people can't jump out and commit suicide. Yeah, China's a different ballgame. What about you though? What do you think? What's next for you? You think in LA?
Yeah, that's my biggest thing. I went down there and gave it a little trial run. Stayed with some people for like a month, and dude, I have some. I didn't know I had a lot of connections. Like, dude, I was out there bumping elbows with celebrities, dude.
Okay.
I don't know if you know who Vince Staples is. He's
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he had a couple songs. Big Fish, I was really big. He has a couple other songs that are really popular. But my cousin, he a Long Beach native. He grew up with Vince Staples, and he got me backstage passes and back there in the smoke session with him. Man, this is a crazy story. So he gets us. I go to LA the last March. Yeah, last March, and so I get down there. The day I get down there to LA is the day that Nipsey Hussle gets killed.
Oh shit.
So things are wild. You know what I mean? People are running the streets pissed off. You know what I mean? Pissed off. And very much so. Nip was an amazing man. But like the vibe was just crazy. Like people were just angry and they just wanted to. It was kind of like a smaller version of how people are angry now. Like people just wanted to do something, you know what I mean? Wanted to be angry, but my cousin's like, look, man, let's go do something different. My Vince Staples is performing. I know him. We'll get you some backstage tickets. He pulls him up on FaceTime. He's like, and I had no idea who he was this time. Like, I didn't know who he was. And so he's like, oh, here's Vince Staples. Pulls him up on FaceTime. I'm like, what's up, man? And he's like, oh, what's up, bro? How you doing? I'm like, I'm good, man. How you doing? And just a regular conversation. Like, I had no idea who he was. Long story short, I get tickets to backstage. He puts tickets in my name, so we go to pick it up, and felt awesome. I was like, we went to the call booth, and he's like, oh, here's 4 backstage passes for you, Mr. Sanders. And that was awesome. So we get our backstage passes. After his concert, we had good seats. We have his personal section where he has tickets for people that sit. So we're sitting there, and after the show, we go into the backstage, and there's this guy. It's this tall, dark-skinned dude. He looked like he had money. Like you could just tell. Designer stuff on. And I walk in and there's like no seats, right? Well, I mean there is, but he's kind of sitting in between 2 seats. And I look at him and like I was dressed up like money. Like I had excuse me, Jesus. That's nice. I had all my designer stuff on. I went and bought some Balenciagas like the ones I'm wearing right now. Let's go Balenci. And I got a bunch of stuff. I just try to look as rich as I could, you know, trying to maybe, look a little bit more beyond my means because money attracts money. Yeah. So I asked this guy, I'm like, hey buddy, will you scoot over? Like, will you move? And like he looks at me like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you seriously asking me to move right now? He looks at me, looks down at his shoes, looks at me, and then he scoots over and lets me sit down. So I sit down. About 20 minutes later, we took a couple shots of, I believe it was Crown Royal. 20 minutes later, that guy gets up and leaves. My cousin turns to me. He's like, dude, do you know who you just asked to move? And I'm like, no. He's like, dude, that's Vince Staples' manager. This guy manages like 7 of the biggest stars in the world. Oh, man. And you just told this guy to move. And I'm like, what? And I was like, don't know.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up, dude. Like, this guy could have just had me carted off by bodyguards. Yeah. And you just let me just go into the fight. He's like, he moved. He must have respected you.
No. Handled it like a champ. A lot of people would have been like, what?
Yeah, dude. And I'm like, I mean, I wouldn't have done it looking back now. Yeah. But I mean, like, the dude looked at me. That look makes so much sense now. The dude looked at me like, are you serious? Like, for real, bro? You want me to move? And then I was just like,
you know who I am?
Yeah. And it's like, that's crazy. But no, I was really able to bump elbows. You know, I got a little studio time with him too.
Oh, that's cool.
Got to watch him do his process and stuff. And I don't know if you know the guy who does the song "Cut It, Cut It."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was in there too.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was in there too. And
good networking then. Come on.
Yeah, dude. No, I have some. I do know some through my cousin, like, because he's a Long Beach native, and there's a lot of people out of Long Beach who's made it. And I don't know if you know O3 Greedo. He's free my dog. He is my cousin's best friend too. So he's a lot of celebrities, a lot of stuff that, like, I just got to get out there. That's why I'm doing this music right now so hard, because I just have to have them hear it and like it. Like, I have the platform. I know people who, they just got to hear it. You know what I mean? And they have heard it, and they just say, keep working. Once you find your sound, you know, keep working. And I don't want to piggyback off anybody for sure. Like, I'm not just gonna, even when that time comes where somebody wants to offer me a contract, I'm not just gonna go and sign any deal. You know what I mean? Like, if I have to, I'll go independent forever. Like, look at Chance the Rapper. He's independent.
Yeah.
He makes a lot of money.
Yeah. You
know how much money he's made off that hat? The little 3 hat? Have you seen his hat?
Yeah.
Dude, he's made millions off that hat.
Oh, wow.
Just that hat with the little 3 on it. Like, because he owns his name. He owns his rights. He owns his label. He owns his brand. And that's the biggest thing, dude. Like, owning your own stuff, owning your own work. And that's the thing that I need a little help with that. You know what I mean? Like, that's who I want. I need that. I need that person who's going to be like
a mentor. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Who knows the ropes, because there's so many small, tricky words that, you know, I don't know all this stuff. Like, I'm a smart dude, but I'm not fucking, you know, I'm not no businessman, that's for sure. Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't know all those small words. So I just, that's another reason why that's actually the next step I'm looking for. I feel like once I get a little bit bigger, possibly do a couple more shows. Because I've never done a live show.
Okay.
I've never done a live performance yet. I've had people talk to me about it. I haven't done it yet, so I haven't seen where that goes. But I think after a couple live performances and maybe a couple trips to the Bay to do some shows, I get a manager. Because I'm gonna need somebody.
Little guidance.
Yeah, with a little bit more legal
experience.
Yeah, and especially with the terminology, because I could understand anything once you break it down to me, but reading a contract, I'm not just gonna pick up all the little stuff.
Yeah, they're designed to be confusing.
Exactly, dude. Like, so I just, like you said, a little bit of guidance, a little, and honestly, someday, I mean, I would want it to be somebody like my pops or somebody who I know has my best interest. So that's like ideally who, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, I know my dad doesn't know that kind of terminology too. So
it seems like it's hard in the music industry, or at least you hear about how kind of slimy it is sometimes. Dude, with those record companies.
360 deals,
everything.
Dude.
Yeah.
360 deals, that's crazy, bro. I mean, they got
really got to be careful.
They got these guys working, because I mean, you think about it. They have all these shows and all these flights and all these stuff that they got to do when they go on tour, and the label, quote unquote, pays for it. But what's really happening is after all your tour dates and whatever, you make $15 million from a tour. They're gonna go and they're gonna first of all, they're gonna after the labels and the tour's done, when you get back, they're gonna charge you for all the expenses. You're gonna pay for your hotel. You're gonna pay for every bottle you popped. You're gonna pay for all the Ubers, all the whatever you did. You're gonna pay for all that. The jet, you're paying for that. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you're paying for everything. So, like, the label may look like they're paying for it at first, but once you get paid, dude, yeah. And if you don't get paid, say you bust and nobody shows up to your concert, you're in debt. Like, that's why there's rappers. That's why Kanye West and stuff like that, they were in debt to their label. They had, you know what I mean? That's crazy. Yeah, because the label is able to, you know what I mean, hold that over there. Hey, buddy, you signed this contract. Like, you owe me this amount or this much work or this much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why it's really, really hard to, like, you know, and just for me being outside in, just, you know, knowing what I know is amazing, because there's a lot of rappers who go into the game and they get big at like 17, 16. And there's nobody there to tell them that. You know what I mean? They just signed the first deal.
Yeah, they don't know any better.
Yeah, so, you know, they have these 360 deals and stuff where people are just working. And I'm not exactly sure why they call it a 360 deal, but I know that it's very not in their favor.
Your head just spins reading it, probably.
Yeah, it's not very good. I mean, they got these guys working and they're paying them I mean, it'd still be considered more than the most average person.
Yeah, but not compared to what you could be making.
Exactly.
Right?
You know, when you got somebody who's bringing in, you know what I mean? Like they say Drake only saw like they say Drake is only worth like 30 or 40 million dollars after all his bangers.
Oh wow.
Which is like
it's because the record label.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and which is because he's had so many number ones. He should he should be a fucking billionaire by now, dude. But I don't know. It's just being smart, being educated, and I think the record labels like to take advantage of people because there's a lot of black youth in rap. You know what I mean, and a lot of these guys didn't finish school. They just kind of went with music and they rocked with it. So I mean, you got your college graduates here and there, your college dropouts, but I mean, not all of these guys aren't able to articulate every little detail, and you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't know all the crazy ass words that go into this stuff. So it's like, they try to prey on people.
Yeah, and get them young.
Yeah, and that's what I want to be careful for. You know what I mean? I'm a little older than if I made it today, I would be considered old.
Oh wow!
Like because the generation is so getting so younger and younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at like rappers like NLE Choppa, he was 16 when he dropped his banger song. I mean, Youngboy NBA 16 when he blew up. Lil Mosey, he's 15 or 16 or something like that. It's just getting younger and younger, dude. Like so it's I'd be considered an old head. Like they think the Migos are old and the Migos are 24. You know what I mean? Like people think the Migos are old, and it's like Juice WRLD died. My favorite artist, man. Favorite artist of all time.
That was sad.
21, dude. Like a week after turning 21. Like it's
crazy.
Yeah, and and I have a really I'm not really super, but I have an addictive personality. So like when I drink, I like to drink. When I smoke, I like to smoke. So it's like I'm gonna have to stay away from a lot of things.
Those vices.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of things, and that's honestly half the reason I'd say. I'll be the first one to tell you. That's half the reason I didn't do this 6 months ago, 7 months ago. I was dealing with drinking problems and just trying to figure out. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I watched my brother drink himself to death, dude. Like I seen it firsthand. Like he lived in the same house as me and everything. So it's like, watching that happen and then drinking myself, it just put myself in a dark place. So it's like just trying to bounce back and find who you really are, I think is the biggest thing, dude. Like that's I have like even breathing problems and stuff right now because of that.
The drinking?
Well, yeah, I put long story short, I put a hole in my stomach. So
you put a hole in your stomach?
No, the alcohol did.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm doing what?
No,
okay.
The alcohol did.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I have
like in your. Oh,
I have like an ulcer kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I have like a colon. I have like an irritable bowel syndrome with my colon. It's crazy, dude. Yeah, I went heavy and I started noticing stomach pain. So like now, like when I smoke sometimes, bro, I'll burp for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes straight, bro. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle. I think that my addiction problem with that stuff is like the hardest thing. Like this is the biggest thing holding me back. If it wasn't
easy
for
to slip down those roads, right?
Yeah, it really is, bro. Like if I like stop drinking today and stop smoking, I would give me 3 months, dog. I'll be on. Because like that's the only thing slowing me down right now. And without that, dude, I don't know how far I'd be right now. So that's just my biggest battle right now. I feel like as soon as I get over that, dude, it's gonna be a wrap.
Why do you think creatives always seem to struggle with something, right? Where does that stem from? Is it just you've got so much going on in your head and you've got so many different ideas and it's just like you need something to slow it down? Well, I've always wondered about that.
I tell you personally, for me, I can't speak about anybody else, but personally, I can't turn off the creativity. Mm-hmm. So the creativity comes in all different forms, whether that be it sad, traumatic, picturing, you know what I mean? Like my mind will race and I'll think about something that hasn't even happened yet. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Think about a loved one's death or something like that's going to happen. And you know what I mean? You feel the emotion before it hits. And it's just, my mind, like you said, it races so much that my creativity tunes into, you know what I mean, stuff that I don't necessarily want to be thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It'll tune into my depression. It'll tune into my anger, and it'll turn it. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like it's a when I smoke weed, like I like to smoke weed. I genuinely like smoking weed. I don't necessarily like to drink, but I like smoking weed, and because it calms me down. I don't when I want to turn that creativity down just a little bit and not be so
it.
Yeah, not so everywhere brain firing. That's cool, you know what I mean? But I just I don't want to I don't want to be the guy who just like consumes and
You got to treat it like a tool.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want to
weed more so than alcohol.
Yeah, I don't want to be, you know what I mean? Like it's more of like I like it as an icebreaker,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like
it's a good social
it is, you know,
factor, you know?
Yeah, like no, smoke a blunt with a friend or something, but like I don't want it to be a crutch. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be like I don't want to be the guy who has to wake up every morning and smoke weed to eat breakfast. Like
or you have to pound 6 drinks to be able to go on stage.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do that. So like, long story short, dude, I just want to kick this habit I have, and then who knows, dude? The world's my oyster.
Mm-hmm.
I could got whatever, bro. Like I could do whatever without this because that's the only thing holding me back. And I'll be the first one to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I just Jordan trying to become who Jordan is.
Yeah.
Hardest thing ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard working to that.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I am still. That's awesome. I did not know you lived in New York though. Right now.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
let's say yeah.
That's awesome.
I've been having a good time out there.
Hell yeah, that's great, man. I really want to go out there. What's your major specifically?
I'm computer science and cognitive science right now, but I don't know if I'll ever use either of those outside.
What do you do with that stuff?
Computer science, like software.
Okay.
Software engineering. Coding.
A lot of coding.
Yeah, cognitive science is more. I thought I wanted to go into artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And cognitive science is like the study of the human mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I was under the impression that like it'd be a really good matchup, which it is. You know, a lot of kids that want to go into AI go down those two paths. But yeah, I enjoyed coding. I found that kind of right before when I was going to CR. Actually, I found coding, and so I rode with that for a little bit, and then I added on the cognitive science when I got out there.
Okay,
as kind of a
awesome.
last hurrah thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm a psych major.
Okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
I before when I first went to CR after high school, I wanted to and I still want to do it someday down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Get my get a license to be able to be some kind of therapist. And I don't know what kind of therapist I'd want to be or what kind of psychology. You know, I don't want to know what I want to do with my psychology, but I definitely want to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's me in a nutshell, dude. Like
that's what I get.
Yeah,
I'm talking to you. Yeah,
like whether it's building homes or helping somebody mentally or
putting out music,
something, bro. Yeah. Like I want to be able to. I'm an entertainer / comforter at the same time. You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
and like. I'm showing all the like I love my I like to get the love back every once in a while, but I have enough love for myself to give to other people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love myself enough that I don't need to go chase a girlfriend. You know what I mean? I don't need to go do all that. That stuff will come in time, no rush. So I just kind of do what I got to do, and just I just want to show love to as many people as I can. You know what I mean? And I do. You know what I mean? Go through these times where I struggle and feel like nobody likes me, nobody supports me, whatever. But you know, I know there is people out there who really care. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, that's gonna show when my inevitable time comes when I blow up and my name is everywhere. We're gonna see who comes out the woodworks, huh?
Yeah.
And
that's the mindset you got to have.
Yeah.
Is you can talk you can talk whatever you want to talk now, but when it happens, then we'll see.
Yeah.
You know,
we'll see all those girls who never messaged me back. We'll see what happens when I come back.
Yeah,
that's a big fuel for me too. That's a fuel for me too. I'd lie to you. I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a major fuel for me. Because you know what I mean. I've never been the type of guy to settle.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna shoot for the tens, dog. Like I'm gonna message and jump in them tens DMs if I have. I don't care.
Yeah.
And if I get them, well, it only takes one. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So like, I just can't wait to the day though. I can't come back and get to ride around on a drop top, see one of my little guys that I knew from a long time ago, who's maybe a senior now, or you know what I mean, and hop in the whip, jump in the whip,
Yeah.
and take him on a nice little cruise. Buy my mama a house. I told my mama I'd buy her an RV when I was a kid. I said, I'm going to buy you a double wide, biggest RV, most expensive you can get, and let you travel the world. Once you're done with America, I'll put it on a yacht. We're taking over to Europe. Go to Europe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's cool.
I promised my mom. That's a big motivation for me.
But, you need those motivating factors.
Yeah, definitely, man. I just want to. I really just want people to know that I am not so, like, I feel like I come off sometimes a little angry in some of my music, but I feel like that's just raw passion. You know what I mean? I'm not really angry like that. Anybody who knows me knows I'm super chill, but it's just a lot of raw emotion. And I feel like I've been quiet for so long. I've been the guy that always just is like, just quiet and doesn't say anything. That when me talking how I really feel through music, people are going to be like, well, that's not Jordan.
Yeah.
He's being somebody else that he's not. No, I'm just being the guy that I've
always been,
but wasn't. You know what I mean? I wasn't out of respect or out of some weird mental thing that I have. You know, I don't want to make you feel bad. So I silence myself, but no more of that. I'm going to speak my opinion, and it's going to let it be known. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's no other way around it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna talk my shit, and I'm gonna talk it 100%. I don't care who hears it. So that's just kind of how I feel. And like I said, I just feel like some people might construe that as me being fake. But
have a lot of people done that?
I wouldn't say that they've done it personally, but I mean, I've had a few people like come up to me and tell me and be like, "Man, I didn't know you were so." You know what I mean? Felt some type of way about, you know what I mean? Because like I have this bar, this bar in my Balenciaga face mask, and when I said I'm talking about my friends, and I said that, you know, I've had a hard time thinking of my exact bar right now, but it's I pretty much just say that my friends, we don't really speak to each other when we pass by. You know what I mean? Like that's like niggas don't speak when we pass, foot on the gas. Yeah, like. So it's just like, I feel like we have, they might think I don't like them or something, you know what I mean, anymore, but it's just it's the limbo part, dude. It's just this weird limbo part of life where everybody's just trying to find out who they are. So I don't really have time to hit people up to, you know what I mean? Hey, let's go hang out. Let's go. Because
you're working.
I'm working on myself, dude. Even when I'm just chilling by myself, I'm thinking, you know, I'm thinking about the next thing, thinking about the plot and stuff. So I don't even really know where I was going with that, but I just know that I don't want to be misconstrued as somebody I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just another kid trying to make it, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Feed his mama.
Yeah. And it's hard too. I mean, when you're trying to do something, especially like that, like something big, right? And you're working and you're putting a lot of time into it. Some people just reject that just because they feel like they're not doing anything. So if they're not doing anything, why should you be doing something? And that's hard, but sometimes that shit just happens.
I felt that too. Like, I mean, as a human being, I felt that before.
Yeah.
Like
sometimes you get a little jealous.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And honestly, like to be honest, like to be 400, I at first, when City Hippie was first starting to pump out their stuff and they're like getting a little popular out here, I was hating on them because like I mean, they're not really my style anyways, but like I just realized I was hating on them because they were doing something that I wanted to be doing. And I wasn't doing it. So that's when I turned to myself, and it took my uncle, because he does like a lot of skits with City Hippie and stuff, and we've talked to him. They're actually great people, but he was like, bro, like, are you sure that you don't like them, or are you really just hating? And I kind of thought about it. I was like, you know what? It's not that I don't like them. It is just they're just doing what I want to do.
They're where I want to be.
Yeah. And then, but like, I want to be bigger than that, of course.
Yeah.
I want to be where they are and then surpass. But I just don't think that being on that hater vibe is the best way to go. You know what I mean? I definitely feel like, and this was only a couple months ago, so I feel like it definitely opened my eyes a lot and be like, man, okay, well, let's just not be a hater and let's just do it.
Yeah.
And that's
just focus on my own
stuff.
man.
So I think that's the biggest thing, dude. Just not, you know what I mean, seeing your steps and taking it instead of just hating it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it's a lot easier to just hate it.
Yeah.
And actually put it in the work, you know?
Yeah, a lot easier. Like, I remember I made a Facebook post a while ago, and this is like the only Facebook post like I feel like I really ever like mean, and I feel, and is I hate social media because it gave, and when I say nerds, like I don't mean smart people. Like what we use as nerds is like, a nerd is just somebody who just, in my mind, is just somebody who just blatantly speaks out their ass and just talks about something that they have no understanding of or no valid opinion. You know what I mean? They just go to start shit. And I guess that's total not the definition of a nerd, but it's just kind of what my dad and everybody calls nerds. It's like our whole family thing. But anyways, I don't like that social media gave those type of nerds a voice. Is that my phone? My bad.
Oh yeah, you're good.
But yeah, no, I just don't like the fact that people can go on there and spew like another, like back to like the spewing like some random racist opinion, like hop on somebody's comments and just go hard on them. Like, why did those people? Because you know they would never say that in public, ever. Like these people that are behind these screens, they would never say that in public.
Yeah,
because they know damn well they would not survive. Somebody would check them hardcore.
Yeah,
and I don't like that about social media. You don't have, it's like a safety net that's just but when oh sorry, you were gonna say
no, continue.
I was gonna say, I just feel like I feel like we should have checks and balances in life, and without checks and balances, you're gonna have chaos. Kind of like what's going on right now. It's chaos. You know what I mean, without that person to be like, hey buddy, like it's not okay. You know what I mean? It's not cool.
Yeah, Haley and I were talking about that on the last podcast, was that everybody's got a voice now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just want to, you know, say nasty, foul things to people just because they've got 5 minutes before they go to work or they had a bad day and they want to take it out on somebody. Now you can reach anybody, right? You can say something, those comments, dude, if you read a post, you can just tell from the post that the comments are going to be wild.
Dude, if you look at any picture, if you look at any post with has a picture of Colin Kaepernick,
it gets heated.
You're guaranteed to have 30, 40,000 people just talking trash. You know what I mean? Just bad mouthing him. And it's like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, people ignore the blatant message. People that ignore the blatant message and they see it for what they want to see it as. And that goes for a general aspect. And they don't see what you want them to see. They see what they want to see. So, and it's just, I don't understand. You know what I mean? I don't understand
why,
how people got raised in this sense of, I don't know if it's entitlement or what it is, but like I don't like the shut up and play football thing. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept, right?
Yeah,
like what does that stem from?
Like,
well, we can't have nuanced people.
See, I'm not allowed an opinion. That's pretty much what I felt like what they're trying to tell these athletes. I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? You watch football and basketball to get away from politics, but these guys have a platform. These guys have a major platform that they could do major things with it. I mean, look what LeBron did, dude. He built like 200 schools or something like that. Like, the man is amazing. So, like, if you could do something with your platform like that, awesome. Just awesome. And I feel like people want to silence that. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't understand why you'd want somebody with that kind of influence to not use it. Like, why? Why would you not use it for positive things? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just,
Well, it goes the opposite way too, right? Because sometimes you have prominent people in society who are famous or have a platform and they're saying stuff and it's like, dude, you're not well
Yeah.
versed in this and you're just saying stuff that like
Yeah.
everyone's got the power to put their opinion out there.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. You're right. You're right when it comes to there. There is definitely times where there's people are talking about things that they a little over their head, and I definitely, I know personally, I do that all the time. I talk about.
I do that.
Yeah.
I do that on this all the time.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times since we've been talking. I'll talk about something that like, you know about it, but you don't know enough. You know what I mean? So it's
it's not that you shouldn't speak. It's that maybe you get a little more
informed.
Yeah, more facts under my belt.
So yeah, I just feel like people got to pick and choose the right times and pick and choose when to use that platform, but I don't think they should be silenced. I
don't think we should silence anybody.
Yeah, no, and
that's how you get these radical ideas. Is people that are silenced, and then they find a group where they can say their voice, and it's a bubble.
Like, I remember in psychology, dude, we had a chapter when we learned about Heaven's Gate and all those crazy ass people who.
What is Heaven's Gate?
It's when all the people believe that they were gonna the alien spaceship's gonna come and pick them up as soon as they killed themselves, and so this guy got a lot like hundreds of people together to mass suicide, and they believed that the only way to transition to the UFO planet was through their soul. Their spirit can go, but their body has to stay in. So this guy convinced hundreds of people to move away from their family and join this cult, and they all committed mass suicide. It's pretty crazy. It's kind of like it's very similar to the God, what's his name? He's the same thing, but they all went up to an island. I can't think of it right now, but it'll come to me. They pretty much just thought this guy was the Messiah, and they all followed him to this island and drank this Kool-Aid or fruit punch or something that had like some kind of rat poison in it, and all killed them. Everybody. They shot. The senator came down from senator. I don't know which senator it was, but he had came. It was Jim Jones is his name.
Oh, is that was that Eden Parish? Was that Jim Jones's, or is that another one I'm thinking of? Eden Parish I think it was in South America, and they all took the point, and it turned out he was like dosing everybody. And
I think that's a different one.
Okay.
Yeah. Same concept though, but except Jim Jones was really up front. He was like
Jim Jones was Jonestown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jonestown.
Okay. I know. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Different one.
Yeah. There we go. Jonestown. This is that's Heaven's Gate is a little bit different. The same situation, but Jonestown that's the one I was talking about just now. It's crazy, dude. I mean, the
cults are just crazy in general,
dude. I mean, how do you get people to leave their family? Like this guy had people leaving their family, sons, mothers, fathers, brothers, just leaving, and then just what this guy says is word is he's God. They look at this guy like he is God, and that's like how do you have somebody? How is your mental ability that strong that you're able to influence people? Like your charisma must be through the roof. Like you ever play Fallout before?
No, I never really got into the Fallout games.
Well, have you ever played a game where you could like choose your attributes? His charisma attribute is like maxed out, dog.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how you are able to influence people like that. Like I've I could influence a crowd to bob their head, but I mean
to move across countries.
And then just give up their citizenship to their country, give up their family, never talk to them again, and then commit mass suicide. Like it's your life, dog. I don't know. That's crazy.
I think it's crazy how prevalent cults are. It's kind of weird that there's not more today. You'd think that there'd be a lot more with social media, right? Because you could reach way more people.
Yeah. I mean, and there is though. I mean, there is a lot more. I mean, we probably just aren't on those websites.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And I think that the word cult gets tossed around a little bit. Because they do have, what is it? Would be a cult following. Would be like
the term.
Yeah, it's kind of gets tossed around a lot there too, because cults are not necessarily a bad thing, they have the crazy cults, but then I mean a church is kind of like a cult.
I tried to make that same argument. It was a podcast with Sarah Flores, my sister.
Yeah,
and I tried to make the same argument. She wasn't having it. I'll entertain that because I agree. A cult could be considered or a cult, church, could be
Yeah.
considered like Joel Osteen and his millions. That
Yeah.
guy's got stacks of money. That guy is sitting on a huge pile of cash.
Now, which guy is that again? I think I know who you're talking
Joel
about.
Osteen, he's got a huge church.
Is he like the celebrity
Yeah.
preacher? Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah. That could be considered a cult,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, the people that ride for Trump could be considered a cult. A cult
Even our following for Black Market Vikings
could be a cult.
we have like 50,000 people who they love our stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're diehard for it. They ride with it. We tell them to watch something, they watch it. So like, and then in a smaller, simpler form, that's a cult.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cult following. So
yeah, without the religious aspect of it.
it doesn't necessarily have to be religious. It's just they just all believe in something, and they believe that they all believe our videos are funny. So like and they all gather together, and it's kind of what it is. It's so yeah, that's just what I take from that. But there's definitely some. I mean, I'm only thinking about cults right now because I watched Paranormal Activity the other day. But
good movies.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, still scare you.
Yeah.
But it's scary, man. It's just scary what the human mind has abilities to do. You know what I mean? Like people can control the world. That's what separates us from the monkeys and the horses and the dogs is that ability to use our brain to get what we want.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's insane how strong some people are with their brain.
And there's a lot of power when you get a big enough group.
Oh my gosh, power in numbers, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Power in numbers. That's a lot of the reason why we haven't had any like crazy rioting going on here. Just don't got the numbers.
Well, didn't we have? I mean, not to the extent that like L.A. or New York City's had, but we had some rioting or protesting. I don't think it was that peaceful. I don't really know. It was like over the weekend, right?
I got caught up. I wasn't in it, but I got caught up in I was driving, and the guy in front of me, like there's like one guy in the stop sign in front of me, and like the whole crowd of protesters walks up the street. And like at first I was like, oh, that's cool, that's pretty cool. But then they start beating on this guy's hood in front of us.
Why?
Like,
what does that do?
What are you gonna do? Like, what is that gonna? And like she starts like beating on his hood, and not letting him go. Like, you're asking for somebody to, you know what I mean, do something. Like
you're not being an asshole.
Yeah, you're not just gonna come beat on my hood. I don't care what you're protesting about.
Yeah,
you're not coming and beating.
And
on
he
my
might
head.
be on their side, so it's like, why are you attacking?
Yeah,
why are you beating on his truck?
Yeah, it was an Asian dude, and it was like. He flipped there. He like flipped threw it in reverse and flipped it around real fast, and I had to too because he was like right in front of me. But yeah, they're like beating on his hood, and then he like tries to go and drive. I follow him to like a different path to take because I followed him. I was trying to get through too, and they're trying to block him off again. A whole nother section of them. It's like, dude, like, don't be beating on this man's hood. Like, you know what I mean?
You don't know how hard he worked to get that car,
dude. Yeah, like. Lucky it wasn't my car you were beating on. I probably would have got out and had a like.
But then when you get out, then it's like they feed off that energy, and then they've got you, man.
I probably would have been a bad move. I'm glad
that's what happened to some couple somewhere. I think maybe in Philly or something, is they got surrounded by protesters and they were trying to like drive through them, and I think the guy got out or something like that, and they got jumped by all these protesters.
It's crazy. Yeah. I don't know, man. They're just living in dark times right now.
Crazy.
We're living in dark times, and I just feel like that goes back to the name of your podcast, dude. This is just something that's America's growing pains, dude. Like, I mean, we're just still trying to figure out.
We're young.
The country. I was gonna say the same thing, dude. The country is not that old. It's 300 years, something, 320, 330.
You compare us to China?
Oh yeah, dude. We're a baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
not justifying anything, but we're young.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I mean, in 100 years, hopefully we're not even talking about this anymore. You know what I mean? Hopefully we're not. Hopefully racism isn't an issue, and I think it won't be just because every generation dilutes it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like our generation does really good at standing up. Like when we believe something, we fight for it, and I believe that's one good thing that's good about our we don't take crap.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of lazy people in our generation. There's a lot of lazy people.
Yeah.
A lot of entitled people. But that's one great thing about our generation is we're not afraid to stand up and say what we believe in. And I think that's just gonna be better. Like as time goes on, that's just gonna I don't think it's gonna get any worse. I mean, I don't think it's gonna get any
take steps backwards.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna get any. I don't think we're not gonna move anywhere. You know, I think we're only way to move is up, and with the way that every generation is just we're just getting more and more open minded.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, look how far we've just came, and I mean with like gay marriage and stuff. Look how far we've came with all that, dude. I mean, like
it's crazy to think that not that long ago it was illegal.
Yeah, I mean, and people like a lot of couples couldn't even go out in public and except get called names, and I mean I'm sure it still happens, but like I'm sure
it's arguably better.
Yeah, it's a lot better. I'm sure. I just and even like I've been in like rooms where like somebody will make a joke that's like a little bit messed up, and people will be like, well, like it's 2020, bro. It's 2019. Like, come on, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's give and take, right? You got to know your audience. Because me and my friends, dude, we crack hard jokes, and we crack hard jokes on each other. But it's not meant in malice. And everybody knows that.
Yeah,
you're just having fun. But you would never say that. You'd never post that online.
Yeah,
because you're gonna get tore a new one.
Oh, definitely. And you know what I mean? Me and my friends go hard on each other. We definitely say some things that could be easily taken out of context.
Oh yeah,
easily. So I mean, it's just. But like when I'm talking to like my grandpa's like my best friend. He's like pretty much my best friend. And whenever like my grandpa, he just grew up in an age where that wasn't okay. So like with the whole gay thing, he's just like he'll go off and say something like, "Oh, I'm glad my son didn't turn out to be FAG." And
can't even say that word anymore.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I don't I mean like I'm happy that I'm able to have this relationship with my grandpa, but it's like, what if I was then I couldn't have this relationship with you, you know what I mean? So it's just like I always think that's my creativity coming in, because it's like that's like another example of that. It's like my mind goes in races, like, and it almost makes me feel like, oh, well, maybe my gramps doesn't really like me for who I am. Maybe he just, what I mean? So it's just like, and like, I get into a lot of heated discussions with him just because he's older, you know what I mean? He comes from a different generation. I try to explain to him, like, it's more about the love. You're thinking about the sexual acts. Like, that's the part that you don't like. Like, I'm talking about, like, people should be able to have love. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to tell a guy what he can't do, tell a woman what she can't do.
Yeah, how does it affect you?
Yeah, exactly. Right? You know what I mean? What they do in a closed room, you may not like the thought of what they're doing, but
don't think about it.
Don't think about it.
Yeah.
When I see people walking down the street holding hands, man or woman or transsexual, whatever, you know what I mean? I see love. I don't see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ugh, you know what I mean? I see love, and that's I think our generation is really strong with that.
Yeah.
I think we're very open minded, and I feel like it's just gonna get better. Honestly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and once all these old people that are making rules, all these 70, 80-year-old people get out of the offices and Senate and whatnot, and we get the younger generation pushed in there.
That's when you've got the power.
Yeah, that's when we're going to have some power, man. And even our parents, my parents are really young. My mom had me at 16. My dad or grandpa had her at 16.
Oh, wow.
So they're really young. My grandpa's actually just turning 60 this year. I feel like my parents' generation they were really big on that too. But they were really big on the racial issue. I feel like they were the first to address it, like to grow up with it and be like, hey, like we're integrating. Because like, I mean, I come from my mom's white, my dad's black, and I feel like it was a big interracial mixing period. And I feel like that period for them is the same thing we kind of went through with like the homophobic stuff. Is we kind of went through this period where, okay, this is more acceptable. You know what I mean? Like this is okay. So I feel like every generation is going to have their own thing that they deal with, that they either say this is okay or no, that we're going to abolish this, or, you know what I mean? So it's like every generation has that step, that hurdle,
defining factor almost.
Yeah. For humanity and as a whole.
Yeah. It's because we're imperfect.
Yeah.
I mean,
totally.
We're not going to come up with a perfect set of laws. We're going to have to change them occasionally, We're going to have to add new ones. We're going to have to readdress how we think as a society, you know what I mean? It's not going to be perfect.
Hell yeah.
But as long as we're making progress and trying to do better.
Yeah. I just think we have a lot of work to do, man. We came a long way. We have a lot of work to do. I have full faith that with everything going on in life and world as a whole, I feel like we'll be better for it. And that's my perspective.
Adversity, man.
Yeah, adversity
makes you better if you can get through it.
Hell yeah, man. Like, I'm sure, like, someday you're gonna have millions of people listen to this, and someday, you know what I mean?
I hope so, man. That would be cool.
Yeah, someday,
or at least a few people that get something out of it. I think it's my biggest goal. I feel like I'd be fine, honestly, if nobody listened to it, because I feel like I get something out of it. Like at the end of the day, that's really why I wanted to do this. Is I felt like I was living in a bubble, and I felt like I needed to start talking to people, and like talking to people like you and people like Haley. You guys make me want to get off my ass. And even my sister and my dad, the other people I've talked to, you guys make me want to get up and do something, like, oh man, like I should be, like, you guys get me thinking like, man, I should be doing this. I should be doing that.
I appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome having you guys on.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like I'm happy. Like I was happy. I was so mad the other day when I missed. I was kicking myself, dude. Cause like I didn't think about anything I was going to say. I just knew that I was going to come here and just say what I wanted to say and say it, you know what I mean? And this is going to be something that I look back in like 20 or 30 years, or not 20, 30 years. I meant to say 20 or 30 months and look back and be like, man, because this is the first like open interview I've kind of had with anybody. You know what I mean? So I'm going to look back and be like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where I was then, and what these are the thoughts I had, and I was articulating it before I even made the money, just to show you that this is how I really am. This is how I really feel. This is how I really am. And so this will be great. So make sure you save this.
Yeah, I will. I'm excited because, man, when you blow up, I'm excited to be like,
hell yeah.
I got the first interview with this guy, man.
Dude,
I talked to him before he was getting millions of downloads and living in a mansion.
Oh, dude, we're gonna have exclusive interviews.
Oh, cool.
We'll do a crib style one.
Yeah, yeah. Bring back MTV, baby.
Hell yeah, dude. Speaking of
man.
MTV, dude, I've been watching Celebrity Deathmatch. Remember that show?
Yeah,
I've been watching that on the internet.
Oh man. You know what I got into a little bit was Fear Factor with Joe Rogan. Dude, I threw back with that. Oh man.
Dude, the one where they were eating the crab spiders in the Vegas. Oh my god.
Dude, they were crazy.
Those things look mean, bro.
Yeah.
Like those things look like they would take your head
It's crazy
off.
some of the stuff they got away with. And people just went along with it.
Dude, PETA was probably down their throat.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they were just eating those spiders like.
Yeah, some of those episodes.
I'm arachnophobic, so it's just
okay. Yeah,
I'm very arachnophobic. I mean, I don't know if arachnophobic is the word, because I'm not like I could see a spider here, even if it was a big ass one. Like I'd probably take a step back, but like I'm so intrigued by them. Like
they're crazy.
Like I almost feel like I could be arachnologist or whatever. What is it? Arachnol? I don't know. Something. Whatever the ologist
I know what
is.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Whatever the ologist is. But because I'm so fascinated by them, but I will not let them touch me.
Oh no,
no! If a spider, dude, I'll freak out if a baby spider's on me. Like
like a tarantula, dude. Those things. It's like no, I'm cool with the videos.
Yeah. It's crazy, but I'm cool with everything else. Like I can pick up bugs. I used to have a black emperor scorpion.
Oh really?
Yeah, I used to pick it up on everything and put it on my hands, and it never stung me. Stung my brother a couple times, but
are they poisonous? No, okay.
They're actually the largest scorpion in the world, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How big do they get?
They can get up to about 8 inches, 9 inches long. So
no thanks. I'm good.
The one that I had was about like the stretch of my hand.
Oh man.
Yeah, but they could get up to like this long.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and they're really cool. You put a neon light on them, they glow green.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
They're
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's super crazy.
Some species just evolve with crazy things like that.
Yeah, you know what's crazy though is my my brother and his delusion, because he passed away from he pretty much drunk himself to death, but he was depressed because he had cancer. He beat it, but the chemo fucked him up. Yeah, chemo was the main thing, but he, in his delusion, he figured that letting the scorpion outside in the backyard was the best way to let it be free. Not to mention that, like, first of all, this isn't even his climate. He lives in the desert.
Oh man.
Like he probably made it like.
Oh, up here he let him out.
He let him in my backyard.
Oh,
Like, dog, we have snakes in the backyard.
he's gonna get jacked.
Oh,
or a bird's gonna come down.
for sure gonna come and clamp him up. Like, he's like, oh, let him be free, dog. He's not gonna survive. So yeah, it's just that was the end of. I never got another one, but they it's this it's just I don't know, man. This is funny. I don't even know where I was going with that.
Crazy times. Yeah, I don't know, man. Crazy times.
Hell yeah.
We're in some crazy times. But I'm hopeful about the future when I talk to people like you, man. That are grinding, that are keeping their head down, that are putting in work.
Appreciate you. Likewise, man.
Yeah, I honestly, not blowing smoke up your ass or anything, I really like your music.
Appreciate it, bro.
I think you're gonna do something, man. I'm excited to see where you go with that.
Hell yeah, I appreciate it, bro. And like I said, I mean, I feel the same way with you and your podcast, man. Like, you know what I mean? You got some every time I've kind of been like leaning towards like my stoner and forgetting what I'm saying, you kind of get me back on track. You say something that like gets me back on track. So like, definitely, I've been interviewed before, but I haven't been like live interviewed. So, but you got some good questions.
We're working on it. We're chipping away. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm excited to see what you could do with this, bro. Like,
thanks, man.
Yeah, get some. You know, and I have some really interesting people that like. How long are you gonna be out here for?
Till the end of summer for sure. So late August, and then if they open the school back up, then I'll be going out.
I have some really great. I have some. I could get. If you really want to, dude, I can get some people on here for you. That's
yeah, send them my way.
I can. Yeah. I mean, I could probably get. I mean, I would love. After we're all done with this, I'll share the Instagram link with you so we can check that out.
Yeah.
But I know my dad or my uncle would love to come down here and do.
Yeah,
that.
Definitely.
They have so much to talk about, and they talk about. Do they have a whole nother side of the industry that they know of, that they grew up in? Because we're black market Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a nutshell, we're saying that we matter at the black market. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you know what the black market is, right? Of course.
Yeah. For people who don't know, do you want to explain it to them?
Yeah. So, black market is pretty much it's pretty much the underground weed game out here. You know, the white market would be your dispensaries and your legal grows and your legal farms. But there's a lot of people. And before all this legalization happened, not 75% of our economy here in Humboldt County is stimulated through black market sales and black market revenue from people coming out of town and spending money on weed here. We stand for that. I mean, we stand for people being able to grow, and locally sell their weed, and without having to be track and traced every step of the way. I mean, what makes a difference between it being legal? Uncle Sam's watching you every 2 seconds, you know what I mean, and getting their tax write-off, or getting their taxes from it. Is that what makes it legal? But I don't know. I just don't think that. I think that white market has hurt a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of very, very good people who do a lot of stuff for their community get very hurt by all the legality and stuff from their loss of sales and loss of revenue. I mean, I've seen people lose their farms and stuff, and it's sad because, you know what I mean? Yeah. People think that people who sell or smoke, I know people who think that you sell weed, they think you're automatically some shitty ass drug dealer, and you know what I mean?
There's still a lot of stigma.
Yeah, and it's not like that at all, dude. It's not like that at all, and it's just, I don't know. I believe that the black market should not be abolished, because without that, I feel like it's a check and balance kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because without that, the white market could go and they could do whatever they want. They could set the prices for whatever they want. But with the black market, they're kind of forced to stay in a competitive rate. So it's just, I don't know. I believe that there's a lot of people affected by that, and the black market is it's valuable. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people who didn't have any other way of making means for their family have brought food on the plate, have bought houses. Like, my dad's never had a job in his life. My dad, he helped raise me. I had a lot of help. I was the first one, so I had a lot of help. I mean, everybody was really young when I was a kid, so I had a lot of help with like my godmother. There was a lot of people who was involved, more than my other siblings. But my dad, he's always had a roof under the house, or a roof under over our heads. Roof under the house. He's always had a roof over our heads. He's always put food on the table. I've never seen him. I mean, every time we go out to eat, he was never said, you know what I mean? No, we can't get this. No, you're getting this. he was never like, he was always so cool, you know? Everything was always about making us happy, you know what I mean? And that was awesome. And I'll never not cherish that. But like, you know, there's certain, there comes things that go with that, you know what I mean? You know, there's uncertainty. There's people that get jealous, you know what I mean? You never, with the black market, that's another thing, you know what I mean? You never know. Somebody could know that you have 20, 30 pounds in your house and come kick in your door, you know what I mean? And come rob you. So there's not that uncertain, you know, there's always that uncertainty with the black market. But I guess I've seen people turn their whole lives around, you know what I mean? And stop using meth. I've seen people that used to do hella meth and stuff and get involved into a farm and they quit that stuff.
Can definitely be a tool.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just all about how you make of it, you know what I mean? And, I just think that it's really valuable for check and balance. And, I feel like the black market should never be abolished completely because it's there. I mean, Uncle Sam doesn't have to get his fingers in everything. That's just my personal though, you know. Yeah. But see what happens. Right. It's been a lot. A lot has happened in the last couple of years. Yeah. Since legalization.
Changing times, man.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, brother, we just did 2.5 hours, man.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah. We were scooting.
Oh man, I was wondering how long we were.
Yeah. You want to plug your social?
Yeah.
Tell people where to find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram on Young Jonah Official. It's YUNGJONAHOFFICIAL. That's Instagram. On SoundCloud is just YUNGJONAH, Young Jonah. And should be the first one that pops up.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on, man. I had a great time, dude.
Brother. I had a great time too, man. And hope everything works out, bro.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thanks for having me on. I didn't realize it was 2.5 hours.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, brother.
Thanks.
Hell yeah. Have a great one.